After the ball is over, after this game is done, after the die lot's finished, and you are short just one, many a knitter has made a tearful and desperate call, pleading with their local yarn shop, go after that ball.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 438. Today is Saturday, January 23rd, 2021, as we are recording. I am Marlisha, also known as Lady Fernico.
And I'm Talia, also known as Franciscan Gypsy. Just wanted to give y'all a heads up. We're both on the tired side. I'm in my way too active gonna crash mode, and Mom is in her people are evil mode. People are awful mode. I hate people.
I hate people.
I did that mode yesterday.
It's weather related.
It's weather related. Yeah.
I feel really tired. So if I'm not sad, thank you very much to all those people. I had several people contact me in various areas asking if I was sad yesterday or last time we podcasted. And I think I was mostly tired.
You didn't sleep very well for whatever reason.
I didn't. I
think you were in pain.
And I was in pain during the podcast. So thank you for touching base with me. I do appreciate it. I am fine. Thank you for asking.
But today, if she looks sad, she's probably tired.
I don't know why I'm tired. I got enough sleep.
Hopefully she wakes up when I start crashing, because I know a crash is inevitably going to come.
So we want to welcome all new and returning viewers if we haven't scared you off. Thank you for joining us.
Wow, that sounded sinister.
If you are new, we're glad that you found us, and we hope you'll find something that you like so you'll continue to come back. If you are returning, we're always glad to have you with us. And if you are in the shadows, new or returning, please feel free to become an official member of the group. Just hit the little subscribe button on your right and press the little bell so you can get notifications of when we put up the podcast. We're usually pretty consistent about every week. Mm-hmm. So we'd love to see you there.
I've had it occasionally twice a week. Mm-hmm. When it's been like a holiday or something.
Mm-hmm. And if you are really wanting to get involved with the things that we do, the alongs and all that kind of stuff, we always have something popping. In fact, we'll have something to announce to you next week that one of our members wanted to get started. So that will be coming up next week. But if you want to take part in all that kind of stuff, you might want to get involved with our PHN home group. That's where all the alongs take place, a lot of the camaraderie takes place, all the giveaways, all that kind of stuff is generally done in the PHN home group. It's just easier to handle over there.
Right.
So it's phnpodcast.freeforums.net. That's phnpodcast.freeforums.net. And that is, we'll let you in when you tell us you want to come in, just so we make sure there's no bots or anything like that, okay? We do have, and I know we have tea to do yet, but I want to get new members in.
You usually do new members first.
We have 2 new members, one to the PHN podcast home, and that is Sonic Freak. Welcome, Sonic Freak, and we are glad to have you with us. And I think you might have
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah. I think you remember the group when we were way back at the beginning. So, well, not at the beginning, but kind of in the middle, before we moved homes. So, if you are, welcome back. If you aren't, we're glad you're back with us anyway.
Do we have a middle? Because middle implies that there's an end, and as yet there's no end in...
Well, transitional.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Transitional period.
Yeah, so just before the transitional period. So, we're glad that you are here regardless of whether you were with us before or not. And then we have, now, please correct me if I'm not pronouncing this name correctly. It's really pretty. Irina?
Where is it?
Irina H. And she has joined us on our YouTube channel.
Huh, that's pretty.
It's a really pretty name. So if I am saying it incorrectly, please tell us how to do it phonetically so we can...
I wonder if it almost looks...
It looks Russian.
Oh, really? I was going to say Spanish.
It looks Russian to me.
I guess I could see the Russian.
Or somewhere in that area of the world.
Okay, I could see that. Because initially I was going to say Spanish, but I could see the argument for Russian.
That area.
Yeah.
But tell us if you want to. You don't have to.
Yeah, you don't have to. We're just interested in names.
We like to. We like languages, and
I'm not very
Apologies.
good at them, but
No, I like
but
figure out
she's
what these are.
musical, so she is good at them.
So, anyway, welcome. We're glad to have you with us. Please consider, if you'd like, joining us in the phnpodcast.freeforms.net area so you can take part in the alongs. So we got those members. We're really excited about them.
Yay.
And there might be a third one, but I'm not sure. I hope she will tell me if she is. I didn't want to insult her by saying, oh, you're new, and then realize, oh, no, I've been here forever. What's wrong with you? woman?"
Right.
So, but I do tend to do things like that sometimes because my brain just goes, woo.
Well,
So,
when we've been doing it so long, it's hard to remember who came in when, and especially if someone's had a bit of sabbatical, or they weren't particularly active.
yeah. And we've been going for almost 9 or 10 years. I forget which it is.
Yeah.
I want to say we're on our 9th year, but it could be 10.
Time starts blending after 5. Time starts blending after 2. What are you talking about?
I have trouble trying to figure out what was last week. So, okay.
So tea time.
Tea time.
I have like 20 million more projects than Mom does, because I'm actually starting to put on my show notes my count of my projects, and because even though I was super fatigued this week and slept a lot, I somehow also got a lot of work done on projects, particularly designs.
So because she told me about that idea after I sent my show notes to myself, I have mine written here. So I know how many projects I have.
So I have 13. The only reason why I remember it right off the top of my head is because I was like 13,
Well, we
and
didn't
I
do
was
our teeth.
thinking of the guy from Rescuers Down Under, who was what was it? The one played by
Bob Newhart.
Bob Newhart, the one who was like superstitious,
Mm-hmm.
and every time he's 13, he'd like hop the. Remember, she told him to hop the 13th step.
Vaguely.
Ava Gabora,
Yeah.
because she worked with him forever, and she knew him. She's like,
Yeah.
well, just skip it.
Oh, that was the second one. That was the one with Tristan Rogers.
Yeah, that was Tristan Rogers.
Yeah, he played the Australian.
Oh, I might that one. Yeah, yeah.
I think that's the one he was in.
Well, there's only 2 of them.
Right. I think that's the one he was in.
Yeah, and he would have been the Australian
He
mouse.
was. Mouse. I think,
Whatever
it
he
was, I think it
was?
was a kangaroo mouse.
Was he? Okay.
I think.
Anyway, I always thought Bob Newhart's character was so sweet.
He was cute.
He was very cute. Anyway, that's why I remember how many projects I had, because Bob Newhart had a mouse that was afraid of 13. Great. Okay.
Whatever works.
I am having for my snack with my tea, my this is from the Everything Gluten-Free, Dairy-Free cookbook, and these are blueberry muffins. Now, they tell you to fold the blueberries in. Mom and I prefer them mixed in because we want to make sure that we have...
But you didn't mix them enough this time.
Oh, I'm sorry. I will mix them better next time.
Yes.
I thought I mixed them enough.
They're not purple anymore. They're just
Oh,
a
well,
little
I
bit
am
purple.
so sorry. She likes hers purple. I did not mix it enough.
Laura and Patty will understand.
So,
I had those for breakfast this morning.
I did too, but I wanted another one.
I didn't want another one. I'm having I'm having a stroopwafel.
I made a double batch this time, and I wonder if that also affected things. No, it shouldn't have, because it's the same equation.
Ratio, yeah.
Yeah, ratio. Who knows what I did differently? I was also overtired. No, that was last time I was overtired. I don't know. Tea. This is my all I want is to hug all the bunnies mug that Davina gave me. I think I would cry if I ever broke this mug.
Mhm.
And then I would have to get a new one.
But what's in it?
Oh, sorry. I'm hugging my mug. Hugging my mug? Loving
Mug
my
hug.
mug?
Hug mug.
Hug mug?
Mug
Mug hug?
Mug hug.
I see like this drawing in my head of a mug going, You want hugs?
There's something wrong with you.
Okay, so this, actually what I'm thinking of right this second is the cuttlefish. Have you ever seen that little meme where the cuttlefish is like, the guy's like, I'm making a cuttlefish, and cuttlefish is like, yay, I love hugs, but you're gonna have spikes and poison, and he's like, poison hugs!
Poor little cuttlefish. I think that makes sense now on the Avengers when he's talking to Scarlet Witch, Scarlet Witch and Vision, not Vision, Ultron, Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver are on that ship. When they're, and he says, if you're going to make me scared, you're going to have to do cuttlefish.
Right, they're actually
Yeah,
poisonous,
yeah.
apparently.
Yeah, I think that people eat them. No, those are the blowfish. The ones that eat them, and you have to be careful how you cook them because they will kill you.
Okay, anyway, 20 million and one like
Randomness.
bounces all over the
Randomness.
place.
Yes, follow the bouncing ball.
Wasn't that a Disney Channel thing? Like for their sing-along things?
A lot of people did that.
Okay. Because I usually think of like the Mickey Mouse, was it Mickey Mouse Club where they'd have actually it was Mickey's head, I guess, that was bouncing. Anyway, Plum Deluxe tea, creme brulee, gray black tea. Treat yourself like you are royalty. And this has black tea, orange peel, jasmine flowers, blue cornflower, bergamot oil, vanilla extract, love and gratitude. Has caffeine. In retrospect, I don't know if I should have gone with caffeine.
Why?
Because apparently I'm like all over the place anyway. Although I do that when I'm about to crash.
And caffeine that's one of the reasons that people use stimulants for people who have ADHD. It helps to...
But that's because people with ADHD, they're wired slightly differently. So caffeine affects them differently. That's what it is.
Well, I think you're wired differently.
Okay. But I didn't use... Well, I guess I always was able to fall asleep after drinking Mountain Dew.
Okay.
I don't think I added quite enough sugar this time.
I'm always unsure about this one. I like it.
I like it, but I think I didn't sugar it enough this time. Or maybe I steeped it too long.
I know I did mine a little. Mine is Plum Deluxe tea. It's red velvet, Pura desert tea. And I know you guys have told me repeatedly how to say this. Chocolately deliciousness in your cup. Pura tea, cocoa peel, cocoa nibs. Beetroot pieces, blackberry leaves, chocolate essence, love, gratitude, has caffeine. I need caffeine. I should probably have my daughter read this because I don't wear my glasses on the podcast and I can't read these little things without my glasses. I can read. I just can't read that. So,
I'm sorry to say she can't read, even though she taught us for 12 years of homeschooling.
You should not fib. Your nose is going to go all the way out to the...
I think everybody knows that you can read.
I think your nose is going all the way out. Little leaves and everything.
I'm thinking of Flynn Rider. Well, that's just rude. Remember when they kept changing his nose on the...
Oh, right. That's just mean or rude or whatever.
Yeah, when they made it long like you were talking about.
Okay, so I had that in my... This is what my daughter's head looks like. It's an oboe for those of you who are new. If you new members want to know what that is, you can contact us or one of the moderators or anybody who's been with us for a while, and they'll tell you. Or you can go back a few podcasts.
I don't know. I forget half the time why you call it. I don't think you really know why you call it.
It's something I do. Okay? It's just something I do. And because apparently I'm on a chocolate kick, I put in a few gluten-free, dairy-free, semi-sweet chocolate chips when I steeped it. So there's a little extra chocolate in here.
And not just so I can taste it, but because Mom's actually fairly sensitive to dairy. Mm-hmm. Actually, not fairly. You're quite sensitive to dairy. Go ahead and put it down here, please. Mom, it just occurred to me we might need the tissues. I've got your tea if you wanted to snag it. Thank you. You see, I think that's really mild. Hang on. I had to fix your water.
Yours is very, to me, it's weak.
You know, I'm wondering if our taste is off today.
It might be.
Because mine started, this one I remember now, I like better as it cools.
Right. And
there's a
couple
couple of the black teas that I like better as they cool. Not all of them, just a couple of them. And I think this is one of them.
Now, Stephanie, the one who gave us the teas.
Oh my gosh, that gray,
yeah, it is.
Earl Grey.
I wanted today my candy cane one. It doesn't have any caffeine in it, so I couldn't have it. But that's what I wanted this morning.
You could have had the Earl Grey. I have enough.
I hadn't thought about that until afterward.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to look into getting more of that and more of the candy cane because I really like those.
Oh, I forgot to grab my Fedor. When you start talking business, I had to pop up and grab my tea that I got this week. It's a new one. Well, my literary teas.
Oh, right.
I got a new literary tea.
I didn't get any tea this time, right?
No, I had to get a refill on Poe, so I was like, while I'm there, I might as well make it worth the shipping.
Right.
And pick up a new author I wanted to try.
Okay, I'm waiting. Now I can say it, because now we say 14 and not the other.
Oh, yeah.
Not 13. Okay, 14 minutes in, we are moving forward. Okay, because we finally got through our tea stuff.
Yes, we did. Did you mention your, or did you already finish your Stroop?
Yeah, I said it when you were doing your stuff.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we do have several alongs going on, and I will give you a heads up that there's going to be another along happening. I talked to the person about it yesterday. She talked to me on the phone, and it's kind of a three-way thing, and it will, it will pop up in the threads in the next week or so, and I'll put it in my show notes for the next podcast. She's making funny faces.
There's no proof of that.
And so that'll show up later. I'm not going to talk about it right now. I just want to give you another reminder that we will be doing a tea thing, a walk through the parks. We have, I think, 6 or 7 different parks we're going to be talking about with our tea. And it's not going to be anything huge, but we're going to be talking about that during our tea segment once a month, probably starting next month. It's just things going on. It's too hectic because of the end of the month. I mean, so we're going to do that next month. I want to thank people who gave both Talia and myself birthday wishes. Talia's birthday was this past Monday, and mine is next Saturday. So we appreciate all the birthday wishes we have received. Thank you very much. You guys are awesome, and we feel very loved. Thank you. Now, moving on to the alongs, because apparently I can talk to a wall. What? Aw, a little pom puppy on my head. There we go. Okay, so moving on to the alongs. I'm going to have to put him here, otherwise he's going to fall down.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's stable, but he's not meant for climbing.
No, well, he's a puppy, not a cat. All right, so moving along. Our PHN Ready, Set, Go is going along very quickly and very well, and I like seeing all the stuff that's in there. People are ripping things out. People are making new things.
Yeah, there's
And-
only a little bit of time left.
No, Ready, Set, Go is 3 months. Oh, for the ripping out.
For the
you mean?
ripping out, yeah.
Yeah, for the ripping out. If you want to get credit for a ripped out project, you need to do it no later than midnight.
Yeah, you need to rip no.
You have to rip and have posted no later than midnight on January 31st. Okay? So once it hits 12:01 a.m. February 1st, rips will not be accepted. Okay? Rips, not whips. Rips will not be accepted.
R.I.P.
RIPS. Okay? And whips have to be from new projects started January 1st.
WIPS.
Yes, WIPS. Started January 1st. Because this is the Ready, Set, Go. And this starts, the projects have to be started no earlier than 12:01 a.m. January 1st.
We probably should say frogs instead of
Probably
rips,
should say
and that would be a
frogs.
whole lot less
Yes,
confusing.
yes. So frogs, okay? All right, so the frogs will not be accepted after the 31st of January midnight, okay? We will have reached our capacity for frogs with social distancing, okay? So, I'm going to go through the
Frogs
rules.
are social distancing?
The frogs are social distancing.
Very good little frogs.
Very good little frogs. Okay, so I'm going to go through these rules pretty much as I've got them written, and then I'll just kind of mention the changes in the other alongs, because basically our rules remain the same. Okay, first off, Ready, Set, Go, January 1st through March 31st. For the month of January only, projects frogged in that month will be eligible for 1 chance at a prize. You must post a picture of the work in progress before it's been frogged, and then the frogged whip in the same post. Okay, so before and after images. If you use that frogged yarn for another project, okay, you start it, then that project, it can be eligible. You start it in there. It's 1 chance at a prize until the very end when you finish it. And if you finish it, it gets 2 chances at a prize. But you have to tell us why, and you are responsible for the multiple postings. Okay?
Makes me think of that meeting talks about whip.
Whip.
You just said why.
Why? Chatter and pictures will all be in the same threads. Whatever you decide to knit, loom knit, or crochet is acceptable. But if the project uses less than 50 yards of yarn, please use 2 items together, 2 or more items together, okay? 1 whip per project per week. The FO whenever it's finished. So it doesn't matter if you worked the project on Tuesday and you finished it on Friday of the same week, you can still post the finished object, okay? any Franciscan Gypsies Designs FO, any FO of my shawl, or any Laura Concerts patterns FO, those are eligible for 2 chances at a prize for the FO only. Any FO in my yarn or Laura's yarns is also eligible for 2 chances at a prize. Again, it's the FO only. And if a featured yarn is used with a featured pattern for the FO, then that's 3 chances at a prize for the FO, okay? You are responsible, as always, for your multiple postings. And all this is it's all in the thread, okay?
Indeed.
Hashtag PHN Ready Set Go 2021 is what the hashtag is for Instagram, okay? And I've already gone through the prizes, so I'm not going to go through it again. I'll do that next month. Now, PHN Christmas All Year Long Cal Lal 2021. Okay, this is our all year long, so that's a change right there, okay? This has to be in relation to Christmas and holiday and giving and things like that. We do have the caveat, we don't want to exclude people who don't celebrate Christmas.
Yeah.
So it can be Christmas gifts, and it can be charity gifts, okay? It can be a gift for yourself. It can be a yarn that's gifted to you that you're using, that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, back to charity gifts. It's just another excuse to do charity along in some ways.
In some ways, yeah. If you're doing a gift other than Christmas, so you're doing Hanukkah or birthday or something like that,
Or charity gifts.
Charity gifts, something like that, and it's not specifically for Christmas, then it needs to be predominantly in Christmas colors. And we have 8 colors that we kind of designated as Christmas colors.
Yeah, it's not just red and green. You want
No,
stuff.
it's kind of an arbitrary decision, but this is what we want to do for the colors. You have reds, greens, silver, gold, not yellow, gold, purple, pink, blue, and white. So you have eight colors, and they are all listed in the thread, okay? So if they're predominantly that color and it's a gift other than Christmas, that's acceptable. We want to make sure everybody can have a chance at this. So
Indeed.
we celebrate Christmas. I know most of our viewers do, but if you don't, then we want you to still be able to participate.
Right, to
okay?
feel like you can still have fun all year long with this.
Right, with it. So this will be fun. And the featured things for this, of course, my patterns, Taya's patterns, Laura's patterns, my yarn, Laura's yarns, those are all featured. Normal caveat, normal stuff applies. Also featured things that go to Brittany, like her dishcloths and her hats and that kind of thing. We're opening up Brittany's. Things that go to Kim's, I think it's Amelia House, okay? And Operation Christmas Child, okay? And our pregnancy center. Those are our special gift things.
And there's also something, although I think that's more of a wish list thing. There's something called, it's called Operation Santa Claus.
Right,
but I think that's more based on what the kid precisely wants.
Yeah, and I don't know that that's something we know enough about to make that.
I'm looking into it for Davina because she likes the idea of writing someone a Santa letter and sending gifts.
So if you have any question about the featured things, as always, my stuff, Taya's stuff, and Laura's stuff, but Operation Christmas Child, the Pregnancy Center, Brittany's stuff, and Amelia House, which is Kim. I think it's Amelia House or Amelia Project, whatever it is.
And you had mentioned earlier about people celebrating things such as Hanukkah. I've seen Hanukkah spelled 2 ways, with an H and a CH. Which is correct?
I think it depends on regional. I think I talked to Noah about it one time, but I forget what she told me.
Because I've seen it both ways, and I'm not sure if we in America are like making it a different spelling because it makes sense in our heads.
But we don't do that normally. I mean, we do, but we
do.
But we
do it all the time.
also don't. I mean, if you look at the languages, you can see the influence of languages where we don't change it.
But sometimes then there's ones where we like drastically do because we're like, that's stupid, and we change it. And so I'm like, okay, is it just the same thing, but in America we do it differently?
I don't think it's only America that does it that way.
Okay, I'm just really curious if it means something
If
different.
we have any of our people who are knowledgeable about the Jewish religion and the Jewish holidays, we'd love to hear why. I mean, we could look it up, but we could, if you want to tell us why it's spelled one way.
But I also know that someone who actually celebrates it might be more accurate than like looking up online who knows.
Well, it depends where you go.
It depends
if
where
you go to a Jewish faith site, then you might find something. But anyway, we're just interested.
Yeah, just curious.
Just curious. Now, going back to the along itself, this goes all year long. It started January 1st of this year. It ends December 31st of this year, which means that once you hit 12/01 January 1st of 2022, it's done. And as we've said with our longs before, it depends on who closes it, what time the threads will be closed. Sometimes you may have a little extra time. As long as it's open, that means you can put things in. So if
Right, it's
somehow,
not your fault that we didn't close it.
if somehow nobody got to it till January 2nd, then you'd still be able to put things in.
Because that's not your fault. It's
That's not your
ours.
fault. We that you get a grace period. But by the same token, if you're doing a bunch of things that you want to make sure that you get the multiple chances or whatever, get it in early. Get it in by an earlier time on December 31st, so that you don't miss it.
Right.
Like someone like
Yeah, don't depend on us being forgetful.
no. So we have someone in Malaysia
Yes.
who's really far away. She would have to make sure that she got it in. I think she's ahead of us, so midnight her time. I think we have somebody in Australia has the same kind of issues. So you have to, if you want to make sure that you get something, especially multiple posting type
Yeah.
things, make sure you get it early on December 31st or even by December 30th.
Because you might win.
Because you might win, and we don't want you to.
I mean, the random number generator is quite random.
It is.
I mean, sometimes it'll seem like it bunches around, but a lot of times it's pretty good.
But let me keep going here.
Yes.
The projects we accept as always are knit, loom knit, and regular knitting, and that that hasn't changed. Let's see here. We have previous whips for this one, previous works in progress, unlike the Ready Set Go. FO, okay, prizes, blah 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 blah. It's hashtag PHN Christmas All Year 2021 on Instagram. So it's PHN Christmas All Year 2021. All right. Let's see. And
I need
that's
to actually make sure I check those hashtags on Instagram, because Instagram's like the only place I hang out for social media anymore, and usually it's just in and out.
yeah. If you guys don't see me, or if I don't get back to you right away, I am pulling back from social media. I will answer things on my Etsy shop, that have to do with my shop. I answer things on Instagram, especially on my shop. Messenger. But I am not overly active. For those of you who follow my HFI,
If you contact us, like I'm sure you get, like I do, on your pages, if someone makes a comment or something, you get notified about it. So I'll comment on I'll get back to you if you comment on my pages, on Facebook, or not my personal page, but my Pauline one or my business one.
right?
Same thing with Instagram.
That's the way I am too. It's usually the business stuff or my HFI, which is Holy Family Institute. But if you do it on my my personal page, I'm not there very often.
I've been pulling back quite a bit from
Yeah.
just. I don't find social media very pleasant to be place to be anymore.
Yeah.
But anyway, regardless, also I do show up in at least once a week at PHN Home because I'm there to pick the pictures that go at the beginning of the podcast. Once I start having tests going up again, I'll be there more often.
And I'll try to get there more often as well. But the thing that happens, the reason I'm not there as often is I have to log in as Talia to be able to do things.
That's for Patreon.
For Patreon.
I was talking PHN Home.
Oh, PHN Home. Oh, right.
And
right.
Patreon, of course, I keep up with.
Right. PHN Home, I usually like things. I will answer. If you tag me, I will answer. If you message me, I will
I feel
answer.
like I got tagged in something that I forgot to answer.
I usually try to. If I don't do it in a couple days, just poke me because I just probably got buried under something. But anyway, let's move on. I'm sorry. We're just really all over the place today. I care people are older people. What's the difference?
And that's different how.
How? Yeah. Okay, let me see here.
But I do like to point out that we're matching
We are matching.
because it's been a while since we matched. It used to happen all the time.
We used to do it all the time, and it wasn't like we did.
Oh, no, it wasn't like we said, what are you wearing?
Just, I was gonna wear red today, and I said, "Pfft,
Well, if you wore red, you could have worn my red necklace.
yeah, I could wear it anyway.
But you can anyway. Yeah.
Okay, so now moving on, we have another along or two. Oh, okay, PHN, Out with the Old. And this was something Patty suggested, and the reason we're doing this, for those of you who are new, this is normally going to be like November, December.
Yes.
Okay, Patty, who's Wombat of Doom, she suggested this just as the year was closing up, I think.
Right.
So we're doing for 2020. That's why the hashtag for this is 2020 this year. We're going to be doing this January and February of this year, and then also November and December of this year. So we get 2020 out of the way, and then 2021. Because we need to close up 2020.
And it helps people finish up their 2020 projects.
So this is where
It's not for finishing up your 2021 projects.
No, this is for this particular one that's running January through February. This current Out with the Old 2020. This one is for the things that you started before 2021. Okay? These are the things that you can't put in Ready, Set, Go when you were looking through your bags. You can't use them in Ready, Set, Go, but you don't want to frog them.
Right.
So they go here. Okay?
They have their own little
They
place.
have their own little place. Okay? And this runs the 1st of January through the 28th of February. So when you get to March 1st, we're done. But as always, if you see it's open for a little longer, you can put it in, okay? Just don't depend on that.
Yeah. Because you might lose that yarn chicken.
No new projects for this long. Okay, this is the place that you finish all the things. All right? Let's see. That's all the same. The same featured patterns and yarns, but the projects have to already be started. Okay? They had to be started before 2021. But if they happen to be in my yarn with one of Taya's patterns or something, then you have multiple chances at a prize for the FO. Or if my yarn alone, or Taya's alone, her pattern alone, or Laura's, then, and it's FO, then that's multiple chances at a prize if it's already started. Because that's what this is all about, okay? Hashtag for this one is hashtag PHN Out with the Old 2020, okay? All right, so that takes care of that. And that's, next week we will have an extra long, I think.
Yes.
So
Yes. And also in February, we'll have, it's not a long, but it'll be an extra section.
I already talked about it. The tea.
Oh, you did when I was gone? Okay. So you guys already know about it. Okay.
It's only going to be once a month.
Indeed.
Because apparently we can go a half an hour in without talking about much of anything.
Yay!
Okay, so your turn. You go first.
Yes, I go first multiple times. Because I have 13 projects to Mom's 9. I think we determined I'd go twice 4 times. Possibly?
Something like that. We'll figure it out.
Well, it'll be a bunch of bags to begin with. So, because I did a lot of work on designs, I think I determined part of why I did so much work on designs is
You keep going.
I think I would get to a certain point in design, either I have to fix something or I would not want to finish it too soon because I wasn't ready to do a test or whatever. So then I would pull back and work on a different design. So here's one design. Can't show you what it is. You just get to see the bag. This is, you've seen Mom's cardinal one. I don't know if she has it out. But this is a good picture of this one. I hope you can see it. It's really cute. This is my Knitting's My Bag chickadee bag. I'm not sure if you can see the chickadees very well. There he is. And this has one design in it. Then, I'm going to throw it over there so I don't accidentally work on it. In my Silver Shed USA, hope she comes back soon because I'm almost done with this. Christmas Peanuts bag is another design, and you guys know what this is. This is my Christmas stocking bag. So that means that this has the Davina stocking that I've been telling you about for a while. So this will be, this actually got a fair amount of work on it, all things considered. Thank you. Oh good, she's almost back because I was running out of things to say. Because I'm not as good at waffling as she is. Yay!
Not waffle.
Yeah, but you can waffle better than I can. Because all I have is to show bags, so it's hard to say like, hey, look at this awesome bag for like 10 minutes. I just showed 2 bags. I'm like, this is interesting. Bag.
You have to improve your skills.
It's a bag. You
Okay.
can only say so much when you can't actually show them the project.
In my Plover Bird Mickey Mouse bag, this is the Spoiled Bunny Stomp scarf from the Sorabelle scarf pattern by Sarah Sweethearts. And I'm using an eye hook with this, and the yarn is Test Designer Yarns that Talia got me for Mother's Day eons ago. And it was in multiple projects, but it finally found its home.
Yay.
So you can see,
I
you've
knew
seen
it
this
needed to be a
before.
Sorabelle all
See?
along.
It was a knit scarf for a while, and it would have been fine, but I just when I tried to fix it, I just
Well, it recognized that its true future was its true calling was to be a Cerebel.
yeah, I make a lot of these.
There's a lot of yarn that his true calling is to be a Cerebel.
Well, those yarns that I get because I think I want to make a Timmy or something out of it,
Yeah.
and then I figure out, I don't want to make a
Well,
Timmy.
because you found that it takes those yarns that you're just like, what will I do with this? And
Well,
makes it into something beautiful.
And it's not that I don't like making a Timmy, it's just this big toy.
Mhm.
I prefer to make a Biddy.
I think a hitchhiker does really well, will probably do very well with that kind of idea too, but it's for fingering weights.
Well, you can make it with DK if
You
you wanted
could,
to.
but you don't get as many teeth.
Just make more teeth, that's all. You
But it
just
ends up being that kind of awkward size where it's not really big enough because it's a scarf, really.
Yeah.
And it ends up that awkward size where it's not really big enough to be a shawl, but
I
it's that
think, the
kind
one,
of awkward.
I think the one that Brittany made me was
she left
DK.
off some teeth.
Yeah.
left
But
off-
she said she ran out of yarn.
I thought she left off teeth on purpose so it wouldn't be too crazy big.
Maybe. Oh, Sylvie, thank you for the definition. It's fait accompli, and it means done deal.
Okay, well, we were talking about that.
Yeah, last week.
We did?
Mhm.
Oh, okay. I have no recollection of this.
Fait accompli.
I feel like we did something Frenchy.
It's your turn.
Oh, it is again? Okay.
I only have one project, remember?
That's right, 2 bags. Okay. So, in my Silver Shed USA Christmas bunny bag, Christmas oops bag, is another design in progress. Yay!
And another.
Yes, I know. I just had to find another design. Oops, well, my water's knocked over.
Oops.
I do need to pick up that water because my water has like an Alka-Seltzer type thing to the electrolytes. It's a Nun tablet, N-U-U-N. The problem is if they fall, they start building up pressure, and I don't want this spill all over the place.
Yeah, that would be a bad thing.
Yeah, it was building up pressure, so I'm going to move it over here where it's less likely to fall and get mad. Okay, that allows me to move projects where I can actually reach them a little bit better, too. Okay.
I want to make sure I don't leave tea in the bottom of my cup.
Oh, I do that all the time.
I don't like wasting my lovely pumpkin.
Well, usually what happens
tea.
is I end up finishing the rest of it cold. On rare occasions, I have wasted the tea.
I want hot tea hot, not cold.
Although you do have to admit, some of the teas do seem
Yes.
to get improved taste as they cool.
Well, I think that's because they're sitting, not because they're cooling.
No, I think you're right. I think you are right. It has something, they just need more time to...
And it's not. They're not steeping. They're just blending.
Yeah, it's just whatever reason. Okay, so I need to show one more. In my Silver Shed USA, I was going to say just autumnal Snoopy, but I also see now that, I lost the bird's name, and I love the
Woodstock.
bird. Woodstock, thank you. And see now that Woodstock is in here. Oh, and Sally and
Linus.
Charlie Brown.
Oh, it is Charlie Brown. Yeah.
I just, for some reason, I always happen to look at this side, so I always forget that Sally and Charlie Brown are on the other side. And I always miss Woodstock because he kind of gets drowned in the leaves. So this is a design in it. I always liked Woodstock,
I do too.
even if he doesn't actually say anything.
well, neither does Snoopy.
I guess Snoopy doesn't.
They say with their actions and their expressions.
They mime stuff.
Oh, don't say that. People hate mimes.
Why do they hate mimes?
I don't know.
That's so weird.
But if you watch them, everybody's, oh, we hate mimes. I'm like, why? What is that? Apparently, it's a thing.
Why would that be a thing?
I don't know.
I mean, maybe they find them. Sorry, I had to really use that tissue. Maybe they feel like they're creepy, like clowns are, because they're so made up.
Could be. I don't know. I remember the first time I heard it, I was like, why wouldn't people like mimes? I mean, they're just, I don't know.
I don't get it. I mean, when I think of mimes, of course, I think of the one from Tangled.
Yeah.
The one guy that was his dream to be a mime.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. Okay, my next one is in my large blue canvas Universal Studios bag. Okay.
I think now I like mimes just to be difficult. Just because
So-
everyone else dislikes them.
In here is my Ninja Turtle bag. Here's my hook, Christina. Christina was very sweet. She made it so I wouldn't lose my hook.
Yay!
And that's Mama C. So here's my... I've started the green. Mikey's is done.
Good job, Mom.
So, start the green.
I must have not been with you when that happened because I guess I actually haven't been spending as much time back here as I thought.
No, you have been. I just haven't been working on this. I've been working on other things.
Yeah.
I think I did this when I was watching a movie with Daddy.
That would make sense then.
So, I can't put it
Well,
up high enough so you can see the purple.
Hang on.
Maybe if I do it this way,
Oh, do it sideways? That
Yeah.
might work.
so you can see all the colors.
And we're working with a new screen.
Yeah.
That's one of my birthday gifts.
So this one here,
Because
Um,
I broke my old screen.
on my right, your left, is blue, and that's Leonardo. The next one is red. It looks orange on the screen, but it's red. And that's,
And also, remember, my screen is darkened because I sometimes use it as a double screen with my computer.
right, that red is Raphael. And then
It looks red on the little screen.
the next one that looks blue but is purple, that's Donatello. And then this orange here is Michelangelo. Those are the four brothers.
And that purple does really look blue on the screen.
It does,
I don't
but
know why.
it's not. It's purple. So,
Huh.
so I'm finishing up. When I finish up this green, I will edge it with this yellow. Let me see if Ty said she has more of it in case I need it.
I do.
This yellow for April O'Neil, who's not a turtle. She's a friend. And then I'll think about working the eyes. Oh, Crystal, who's crocheting, chronically crocheting, posted, because I picked up her cat pattern. If you want a really cute amigurumi cat, you need to go check Crystal's Etsy shop. It's, if you go to her podcast, it says the name of her shop. You can go right to the shop. She has two patterns. The one
Is
I'm
it named
talking-
after her?
I think it is.
I'm going to try to find it.
The cat is called Mr. Persalot or something. It's a cute little
Aw.
cat. So anyway, she has on her podcast, under her links, she has a really nice tutorial on eyes. If you don't want to use the safety eyes. I don't like the safety eyes. I don't have enough strength in my hands to make sure they stay on.
I found her shop. It is Chronically Crochet. It's all one word. And I'll bring up the kitten that... Let me brighten the screen a little bit.
It's so cute.
Otherwise,
So
no one's going to be able to see it.
can you see that? It's
Yeah, they
absolutely
can see
adorable.
that. Isn't he cute?
He's adorable. So if you want to show her some support, it's not an expensive pattern. It's under $3. And I think it's her first amigurumi pattern. And I would really like to support her. If you guys want to do that, fine. I'm not telling you have to, obviously. But, you know, I don't
Check her out.
Check her out and see if you like it. And check out the tutorial on the eyes, because she does this one with safety eyes, but the tutorial she has beneath her current podcast, the one where she talks about that she's got this up, shows how to make the crochet eyes along with the little white in it that makes it look like it has light reflecting off. And it's really nice. So I just wanted to mention that because I was talking about the eyes that I have to do for this.
Right.
I'm not going to do that for my eyes for this, but that's too much work I want to go through for this. But it's not a lot of work. It's just that for Michelangelo and all those, I'm just going to do those.
Well, you just want something very simple because you have so many eyes to do.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my plug for a fellow podcaster today.
Yes.
Okay. So
And I went ahead and I followed her shop.
good.
She has two patterns in there. One looks like it's a scarf.
It's a scarf, yeah.
And then
She-
she's got the kitten.
And she's got one in testing right now. It's a pocket scarf or pocket shawl. I forget what she calls it. So that's, you know, she's reasonable. I will probably pick up whatever she, if I like it, I'll pick it up. And she looks like she has a similar taste. So yeah.
And also she does the crochet for her designs, at least at this point.
And she's been very supportive of my shop. So that's that.
Oh, is it me again?
Mhm.
I guess it is. I was trying to make up some excuse it wouldn't be. Let's see, hang on. How many times have we gone twice? We've gone twice?
Mhm.
Okay. Twice.
Twice. That's a reference.
It is?
Emma was funny. She said something to me on WhatsApp, and she said, that's a reference. I had no clue. She said, it's from her own show, but it was so funny. It's a reference.
I know Patty did a reference on you didn't catch it initially.
Yeah.
And then you did catch it after the fact.
Yeah.
Emma, I will eventually listen to all the messages. I get really overwhelmed with
Audio.
messages. It's just like I start listening, I'm like, blah, 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 and I stop.
I usually answer the audio. Taya does a lot of the message, the text.
So, I apologize, Emma. Anyway,
She gets it.
in my Christina Mama C tutor bag, I call it the tutor bag. It feels like it's tutory.
That's so pretty.
It just looks like something. Were you watching something with Henry VIII in it last night?
Mm-hmm.
I thought as much. They always dress him like he looks like in the Hans Holbein painting.
Mm-hmm. Well, they referenced Hans Holbein. It was a biopic. I mean, historical fiction. It focused not on his public life, but on his private life.
Well, that's what most of the people do because it's more interesting to focus on his stuff with the wives.
Anna Cleves came out fairly well on
Oh,
it.
Anna Cleves usually does because she's the one who she's like, I could make a fuss or I could survive and be considered the king's sister. I like survival, and so she did.
Well, she was funny. I mean, they showed her as a card sharp.
Oh, she is.
And
I think she was. She liked playing cards.
And she asked like for 4 manors and like 4,000.
She did. She got like.
She got 4,000 pounds a year.
Oh yeah, she really made out like a bandit.
And she got the guy she wanted as her man, her servant or whatever.
Oh, okay.
And all this and they showed at the end. I don't know how accurate this is, but after Catherine Howard died, and she was trying to get him to marry again, and she pointed out Catherine Parr. Now I'm not sure how accurate that is.
I've never heard that.
I think
that might have been a little bit of license.
I think it probably was because they say it was a lot of license in there because that's the reason they chose that, and it doesn't go with the Alison Weir book I was reading before I figured out that I couldn't read it anymore.
But regardless, I could tell I was catching snippets in between what I was listening to. And I was like, I think they're watching something Tudor. And I was trying to listen to hear how accurate it was. I can't watch anything Tudor because I actually know almost more about Tudor than I do medieval, simply because it's a shorter time period that I was interested in. But I thought that's what you were watching. Anyway, this looks like something that might have been Tudorish. This is why it's my Tudor bag.
Tudoresque?
Yeah, Tudoresque, yeah. This has a design in it. And then that was my first one, I think.
First, I had the image of I forget who it was, but the such and such on the show, and then I was like, "This is the Davina and Taya movie."
Okay, that was a childhood.
Yeah, we were doing home movies when the kids were little. My husband little. My husband worked in the graphics and at that point worked in graphics and photography and that kind of stuff, and he would bring the camera home every once in a while and we'd do films.
And because we were Air Force and living actually in Germany and Belgium at the time, that means we get a lot of footage overseas.
And one of the things Davina would say is, "This is the Davina and Taya movie." You said it on the you said on something. Oh no, you said something on the that I
could barely speak.
No, later you didn't know all the movies weren't all in. Yeah, we talked about the other ones in Germany that you could talk sort of.
Sort of, yeah. I was quite young. Anywho, besides which, Davina used to talk for me.
You, yes.
There is absolutely no shock there.
Typical big sister. I mean, they're only 18 months apart, so 20 months apart. So
that's basically 2 years.
It is not
for anyone who's doing the math.
It is not, in fact. How old are you now?
I had to think about it.
34. And how old is Davina? 35.
But it's only going to be like
for
that
6
for like
months. 5.5 months.
More like 4 months.
No.
Anywho, in my Silvershed USA Kitties in the News bag, and our news for today is Fish and Chips Union salutes winner of Cutest Boss Award. And this little guy here is the cutest boss.
Little guy. That's cute.
That's who won.
He's scary.
So, yes. This has the design in it as well. I'm pretty sure this has a design in it as well. Yes, it does. It has little Mr. Palm Pup's
I need to get back
tutorial
to
pup in there. All I had to do is sew it together, and I was going to on Wednesday, but we had to fix. There was a problem with our sink, so there's a lot of banging that I was trying to work on that, and the sink's right next to my room, so I really couldn't record then. Then Thursday, the guy came in to actually fix the sink, and then Friday I wasn't feeling well, so next week I will do the tutorial for this little guy, so that way the Patreons can finish him, and he could start his countdown for when he's able to be released to everybody.
It was a bit of an exciting time in the PHN household.
Yes, it was.
So let me just get this
It was my birthday present to everybody.
Yay.
Yay!
Okay, let me just get this stitch finished. I don't want to lose my place here, so although this is pretty easy to frog back. Let me just, unless you have unforgivable yarn. Okay.
Have you ever done that in Unforgivable?
No, I don't. I refuse to use that yarn. I just.
That's Red Heart Unforgettable for those
Yeah.
who are not.
And it's gorgeous yarn. The colors are absolutely stunning. But
I think it's a single ply. Usually, I think it's a single ply that tend to stick.
it was to the. I was getting frustrated. Talia tried it, and finally we just had to pull it. It was a sweater I was doing. What you guys, some of you people who've been with us for a while have seen me wear my Dragonfly fiber sweater, the one that's greens and blues and purples. Greens and purples, I guess, no blue in it. And before that was the color I was using Unforgettable. Unforgettable? Yeah, Unforgettable. And I wanted to tink back. I have no problem tinking back crochet. It would not let me tink back. I tried, Talia tried. Finally, I said, I'm not using this. I think I gave it away to one of our friends. I said, now, keep in mind, I don't like it for this reason. Do you still want it? And she did. And she actually uses it. Or she did. I haven't talked to her in a while. But it was just one of those yarns that, for me, I don't want to deal with it. You know, it's too hard to correct mistakes.
Well,
And
I feel like there's some specialty yarns, even it's weird enough to say, it's usually the acrylic ones I've noticed this with. Mohair, I'm sure, is like this as well, but
I won't work with mohair. I don't like mohair.
I've actually never worked with mohair, but I don't like really fuzzy that amount of fuzz to it. The only time I've worked with something even similar to it is that it's not a fun fur, but it's a really furry yarn for Davina's
Or her hat.
her hat, and then I had to rip back because I wasn't able to get the exact yarn the pattern had, so I tried to get as close and equivalent as I could, but it didn't end up matching, so I had to struggle and yank back. It was the worst thing ever. And then I
that.
used what was left over to make her scarf.
It was a little shorty scarf. She loves it.
Oh yeah, she wore it like I was so shocked.
Yeah, she doesn't wear it now because we don't go anywhere right now.
Right, and also she goes through phases with what things she
Yeah,
wears.
yeah. She's
Right now, actually, I think her favorite set that I made her it currently is the mitts, the Lady
Quicksilver.
Favor mitts.
Yeah.
Because in that's Quicksilver yarn, and the matching hat, which was that a Davina's hat? No, I think it was
that is a
beret.
I think it's a Diana. Is it Diana's hat?
It was either a beret or a Davina's hat, and I think it might have been a beret because the Davina's hat was in the yarn that you dyed for her in the
Right.
all her colors.
And she goes through. She's very fashion oriented. She's very knit worthy.
Very much so.
But-
I needed to make her candy corn hat. She noticed it in my room the other day.
Yeah, because I gave you that for that purpose.
Exactly. I just haven't gotten around to doing it.
And so she does right now. She's on it because Talia got rid of the silk type, not silk, but kind of satiny scarves that she was using when she had her surgery to ease the rubbing in the back of her
Where my scar
where her
is.
scar is. So she gave Davina all those. So now she's wearing those right now because that's new and it's fun and that kind of
And
stuff.
I had a ton of colors because if I had to wear something constantly to sort of protect this surgical scar, I wanted it at least to be pretty. Although after a while I kind of got nervous with them because I was working in psych at the time. I hate to say it that way because that's just... In nursing, we just say psych. Mental health is probably the nicer way to say it. I was working mental health at the time.
Well, it's the same thing when you work with people in the ED population. Sometimes you just don't want to give them something that they can grab onto.
Right, exactly.
And it's nothing bad. It's just
No, and actually, it was a less dangerous environment than when
Than
I worked
ICU.
ICU because I did know a girl whose hair got pulled and they had to force the guy to let go because otherwise she was going to have it pulled out.
yeah.
Right before her wedding.
Oh, gee.
Yeah, she was kind of freaking. But that was when I cut my hair, to be quite honest with you, one of the many times. But at least in the outpatient environment, not as much of a likelihood, although I still felt nervous because when you're working with patients, there's always a potential of you never know where it's going to go.
I have a palm puppy.
She does. It's in her palm.
Cute. Okay, my next one. Did you do yours?
I did.
Okay. Let's see. In my large Ploverbird teacups on a red bag with a polka dot top. This is my Walk in the Woods stole project from the Cerebel pattern by Sarah Sweethearts. Again, it's a Cerebel. And this is Spinway Farms yarn, giant skein. It's got approximately 840 yards of worsted weight. And I think the colorway is Bryce Wonders, but I'm not sure. And this is a non-super
Is it
wash.
Bryce Wonders?
Bryce Wonders.
Oh, that's an odd name.
And I'm making some progress in this. You can see that this...
Bryce is a name, isn't it?
This, yeah. This is what I have right now. This is smaller than my Miss Babs when it's all yarn, caked up. So you see, I've made a lot of progress on this skein. It's probably maybe about 400 or 500 yards, maybe less. It's hard to tell when you're crocheting. I hope I have enough to make this a long enough wrap. I'll show you how long it is right now. So you can see this is what it looks like. And it's, I mean, I can wrap it around. I'm hoping that I get a bit more length on it because I don't have any more yarn of this kind. But oh, that's pretty. I like that. This probably will go as a gift to somebody, but we'll see. I really like the colors of this. It's really pretty.
It's very, like someone said, it was peacocky.
Peacocky, autumnal, and such. And I'm using a large hook for this. I'm using an L hook because I wanted it to be a little more airy.
Right, you do like an airy fabric. I have a tendency, I have to watch myself, I tend to like it to be very tight. And sometimes it might come across, I don't think it ever comes across as bulletproof, but it's
Davina's does.
Well, that's because she puts a lot of tension in it, and I think she's using a hook that's too small for her.
Well, she's probably using the correct hook, but she's got such a tight gauge, and it's also kind of a strange way of doing the stitches because she's left-handed.
Well, she learned from watching a writing.
Yeah.
And she had to figure it out on her own because I don't crochet well with my left hand. I bet that if you put your brain to it, you probably could learn to crochet with your left hand because you have already some more of a natural tendency.
Oh, me?
Yeah, you.
Yeah. Okay, I thought you were being general.
No. I think you, Mom, could probably learn to crochet with your left hand if you needed to because you do already do some things with your left hand. You might be slightly ambidextrous. Whereas I really do have to think to do much of anything with my left hand.
Okay, so it's your turn.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
I think this is my last double. Actually, I'm not going to do a double this time. If I have to, I'll do it at the end because I'm not sure exactly how many I've left.
Okay.
So, I'm trying to see if I have any other designs. Oh, this one's a design. Come here. In my Silver Shed USA Bat Signal bag is a design in progress. Your turn.
My turn. Okay. Let's see.
Oops, bunny.
This one is in my Silver Shed USA Black and Blue Star Wars bag. It's one of my early bags from Anne. I think this is her large.
I don't know, because I think her size is also adjusted at one
I think
point.
they have. This is, oh, I can't show you this. This is on the Garden Path Scarf Project, and this, you saw the finished cowl I did that was tan.
Sometimes you forget and you show them.
No, I've never showed it.
Oh, I thought you had.
No, I've showed them the yarn.
Okay.
This is a rather dark one, and the next one I make might be in a lighter color. But this is James C. Brett yarn, and it's made to be a one skein James C. Brett yarn. Obviously, you can make it larger if you want to. You can make it a cowl. You can make it a scarf.
One skein wonder.
One skein wonder, and yeah, that's. It's very, very simple. I'm hoping that I can finish this relatively quickly and maybe give it to somebody to test, and then I'll put it up in Lovecrafts.
I think that you need to also consider putting both your patterns up in Etsy.
I might have to do that.
Because there's no real reason not to. And it puts all your stuff in one place. If people are already looking at your yarn, they might go, oh, pattern as well.
Right.
Just saying.
Yeah.
But... And your stuff is even related. I'm like, but I have rosaries and patterns.
Well, I might talk to my people who tested for me. Maybe I'll touch base with Rena because I think she's done. Rena, I'm using your name in vain. I think she did a fingering weight. I might ask her to do another one for me so I can see how it works up. I'll even send her the yarn if she wants me to, so I can see. You know, how long it works up and maybe say, okay, you can do a DK and this is how it looks based on mine. But I think that it works up better in a fingering weight as a scarf.
So she's trying to bribe someone to do some knitting for her.
Yep. And Rena, she likes my pattern. So, you know, but if, you know, anybody else wants to do that, that's fine as well. You know.
So, next up is one of mine. This is also a design. Like I told you guys, design heavy. I'm pretty sure I worked on this one. No, I'm not sure. Hold on. Let me check my show notes. I'm pretty sure I worked on this one. I don't want to show one I don't have to show.
Oh, now I know where I got that thing from.
What
I don't
thing?
watch The Simpsons very often, but it was the whatever it is in Stimpy show. That cat and that mouse are constantly
I have no idea what you're talking
doing
about.
on The Simpsons.
Yeah, I honestly, maybe because I never really watched it
I only
much.
watched it a little bit. I honestly don't like that show, but oh well.
Let's see. Maybe I didn't work on this one. Let me take a look.
Is that a design?
Yeah, it is. This is Oh no, I didn't work on this one. Let me put it this
Is that
way.
the one I think it is? The
fading one?
oh, the fading one.
So, no, I didn't work on this one this week. So,
Did you finish the one that was kind
Oops, it's a bunny.
of that had the kind of yin and yang kind of thing to it?
No, I ripped that.
You ripped it. Okay.
I didn't like how it was working out.
Oh, okay.
There's a cover. So, one of the things with designing, you're gonna hear me as a voiceover. I just don't want to have this next to the heater,
What's that? Oh,
the blanket
right.
valve. I don't want it to go next to the heater. I feel
No,
like that's
no
dangerous.
heater. No heater.
Okay, so one of the things that I've had to learn as a designer is you have to be willing to rip things out and scrap the idea and be like, okay, well that was a good idea, but no.
Yeah.
Or that really was a bad idea. Let's not do that.
Right.
Or let's adjust the idea. Or even, I don't like how this is turning out. I don't care that I'm halfway through.
Mhm.
I gotta rip the entire thing and start over.
Right.
Because otherwise, whatever product you put out is not going to be worth it. And you're not going to be happy with the design. If you're not happy with the design.
Well, you can't expect people to
Right.
want to purchase something that you're not happy with yourself.
Right, exactly. So,
And who wants to put out something they're not happy with?
exactly. Because if you notice, I do tend to knit a lot of my own designs. And that, while I'm doing that, I'm also going, okay, what can I do better next time? What can change? Sometimes what happens with older designs that might have been sitting on the needles a while is I'll have changed something in a later design, and then sometimes I have to look at it and be like, do I still want to continue this
Right.
in its current iteration? Or do I need to rip back and take in some of the knowledge I've gained since then?
Right.
So, alrighty, that's your designing lecture that nobody wanted. Your turn.
Okay, let me finish my stitch.
And that was my Shenandoah bag, by the way. Oh wait, no, I actually have to show a project because I didn't work on that.
Oh, right, that's right.
I forgot that. Okay, so let me grab one I actually did work on. Oh, hey, Mom, I think you dropped your stitch marker.
Okay, thanks.
I think I can actually show one of these. Actually, I'm going to show the one I'm working on. I only started working on this today because I really wanted to work on this chart.
You just started?
No, I didn't just start it.
Oh, okay.
I just started working on it again today.
Gotcha.
No, I couldn't have worked up this much, not with the nap I took in the morning. Right after I got up. So this is my mosaic bunny butt dishcloth.
Yay.
So this is in Knit Picks Dishy, which is my favorite
I like that for
cotton.
dishcloths.
It's one of the few cottons that doesn't bother my hands. And it's not just like a roughness. My nerves don't like it in my hands. Like, it messes with my neuropathy, I guess. I don't know. It's like, it feels tingly and weird with other cottons.
See, I like Dishy for dishcloths and things, but if I'm making, I don't usually do garments or anything in cotton, but if I were to do something like that, it would be in I Love This Cotton.
I've tried to work with I Love This Cotton, and I just don't like the way it feels on my hands. I'm very sensitive about how yarn feels on my hands, and I've gotten more so since my neuropathy's gotten worse.
I'm actually surprised that I can work with this yarn because it's non-superwash, and generally non-superwash, my skin tends to be a little dry, and so I'll chafe, but this one is okay.
So yeah, that's all I really have to show with this one. It's not a whole lot of progress because I only started working on it again this morning.
But they haven't seen it in a while, so.
But you haven't seen it in a while. This was a pattern that was released last year. My first mosaic pattern.
Right. I still have to do that one, but I refuse to do it during tortoise versus hare. I might have been active doing tortoises, but I wasn't going to help the hares either.
Wow.
So, let's see. Do the owls. All right, my next one is in my Plover Pink and Purple Teacups bag. And this is my comfy, cozy shawl for the moment. That's what it's called. And this is from the Scrap Shawl pattern by Anastasia Sattel. And you guys who've been with us for a while know that this is another one of my favorite patterns. I've done a few of these. I haven't changed colors yet, but I'm making some progress. So this is what I've got.
No,
so
I think
far.
we were doing so much story talking this week. I had no idea what you actually worked on.
Yeah. So this is about halfway to where I want to be before I change colors. This is going to be a big shawl. Think Talia shawl. So or even crystals,
Right.
because they were both big. My first one that I made of this is not quite as big. This is going to be a big shawl. I've got plenty of Miss Babs yarn in here, and it's
Well, I think it was also that one was an early shawl for you, so you followed instructions to the T, including whatever hook size she told you.
right. I didn't. I mean, I played around with the colors because she was absolutely scrappy, but I
Right.
just wanted silvers and blues, so that's what I did. But
You were still fairly new to patterns at that point.
yes. And I'm not sure if I tested this for her or not. I might have. I tested several patterns for Anastasia. That might have been one of them.
I've honestly only ever tested for one person, and it was once. It was Patrick Moose,
Mm-hmm.
and when I got a chance to get in, I took it. Even
Yeah.
I did the Badger, I think.
I think it was. I wanted to test for her, but because she had, for me, it wasn't a short window, but for me it was a short window. So I didn't want to do that.
At that time period, I didn't have the same fatigue issues, and I happened to get that test when you guys were gone. Like, I was the only one in the house for some reason for like a week or so.
Right.
So it was great. I basically lived in the living room, and the only place I would go to is work and church, and I work on the Badger all day. It was perfect.
Because I have a couple of, actually I have more than a couple of her patterns. I like the ones that have a little less shaping better, but they are adorable.
Oh my gosh,
my
their
husband
faces.
loves her patterns.
He likes her patterns better than he likes mine.
Yeah, yeah.
He likes the eyes better.
Yeah.
But
It's your turn.
yeah, again. Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess it is. Okay, hang on. Let me finish these last couple stitches because I don't want to lose my stitch marker. But yeah, she was one of my influences. Her and Stacy Trock when I was first starting designing toys. And for people who are new, yes, I actually used to be primarily a toy designer, crochet toy designer. People who joined us most recently probably think I'm mostly a knitter and I was mostly a knit designer. I literally doubled my patterns last year.
We are pretty eclectic.
Yeah. So, in my Silvershed USA books bag is my pair of bunny slippers. Here's one.
Yay.
And this is crochet. I think I had to restart part of this because I had misread the directions. And so there's B. It's starting to build up the sides. Because I misunderstood something with the increases and then I read it again. It'd been a while since I'd gone up.
And sometimes when you've been a while from a pattern and you look at it, I know how to do this.
Right.
And it doesn't read the same way.
Right, so you have to sit there and you have to think about it a little bit. And since I don't primarily crochet, and when I do crochet, it's my own toy designs where I really mostly just use single crochet. Usually I have to think about it if I'm doing other stitches.
Right.
I mean, I know how to double crochet and half double crochet, but I don't use that very often. And if you start adding other combinations or whatever, I have to think about it a bit more. Maybe look up stuff.
Right.
So, yeah.
Okay. Okay, this one I haven't done a lot of progress on that, and honestly, I'm not sure how far I'm going to get on this. This may become the other sweater, but right now I'm still doing the swatch. It'd be interesting to see if I get gauge. This is the Comfort Yourself with Your Music sweater project from the Little Women's Knits collection by Joanna Johnson. And I worked on the swatch a little bit. Let's see if I can find it. I'm using Miss Babs Yowza in the slate colorway. So it hasn't, I do like this. I never realized how much purple behind this. It's almost a lavender tone to it, this gray. But that's my swatch. You can see, not quite to where I can tell what my gauge is, but so this is that.
And then when she's done, I get to keep the gauge swatch.
Yeah, unless I pull it back to
Right.
the
And then
sweater.
you'll need it again
Yeah.
for
another swatch. But
the
this
problem is, I know I bind off my swatches because otherwise, you have the problem with it when it's still on the needles. It kind of can warp it. The needle can change the shape of your...
Right, it depends. I mean, this is a small swatch.
Mm-hmm.
I can probably just flatten it out,
Yeah.
but we'll see.
You probably need to knit more then in order to do that. So
Yeah,
that
we'll
way
see.
this isn't affecting...
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I don't think it's a problem for me. I mean, I've got plenty of this color.
Mm-hmm.
I think I have 3 or 4 of these, so it should be enough.
Right. More of my concern is that, if you do decide you might need it a little bit, just make sure you knit enough of a swatch so that you can have it so the needle, so this cable is not affecting
Right.
your stitches, because it can and will.
Yeah. So this is what I've got. That's the little swatch. I hate doing swatches, which is why it's taking so long, because I don't want to do it. But I know the importance of doing it for a wearable, so...
Yes.
Okay.
So, let's just do the one that matches that. So in my floral bag, and this was given to us, was this Pat who gave us this huge Fiber Hermit, right?
Is that what
Margaret.
that's from?
Wait. No, this is you. You gave me this.
Yep. Daddy and I gave it to you.
Yes. So this is from
Knitter's Magic.
Knitter's Magic, that's right. I got so many bags around Christmas, I have trouble keeping track of who gave me what. So, this has my version of the Comfort Yourself with Your Music. I call it, they call it Canary Song. And this uses Miss Babs Yowza in the colorway Squash Blossom. Squash Blossom. And there it is. It got quite a bit of work because I do enjoy this pattern.
Not butternut squash.
That's actually why I really had to fight not to call it butternut squash for whatever reason. You can see the brilliance of that yellow.
It's really pretty.
Yeah.
And the color I just showed, and this color, for whatever reason, is really hard to get from Miss Babs.
She just restocked it because I got a notification.
Oh, did you?
I keep that colorway on notification.
I should probably keep my slate gray in case I need more of it.
Mm-hmm. It says, this is honestly, there's a couple of solid colors I really like from her. But other than that, I don't care for her personally. I just don't like her variegateds, but also I don't tend to like variegateds.
I'm not a big variegated fan.
So I think that's less of a thing against her variegated and more the fact that I prefer solid.
Well, she's a very good dyer. She has
Yeah.
generous yardage and all that, but neither one of us is really a variegated unless we're doing toys or maybe the occasional accessory.
Right, and usually it's accessories for Davina, or if there's not a lot of interest in the accessory. Socks I will do crazy.
Yes, socks. Sometimes I like a hat.
Yeah, sometimes
something.
with a hat, but like,
And your fun mitts.
yes, actually the Fun Mitts hold it very well.
Yeah.
But so certain accessories, but
There's a place for
if it's a
variegated.
big project, I tend to want a solid, and also I tend to like to knit things with patterning or color work.
My Cerebel does really
Cerebel
well
does really well
with that, as witnessed by the fact that I have several Cerebels that have variegated, and even my scrap shawl. My Anastasia Zattel scrap shawl. I don't do the whole thing in variegated, but I like the accent of the variegated in it. Okay, so let me put this away for the moment here. Okay, the next one you haven't seen in a little while because I just haven't felt like doing loom knitting. So this is a very simple little preemie hat, and I'm using I Love This. No, I'm not. This isn't cotton.
Maybe you just didn't correct it.
I don't think this is cotton. I love this yarn. Yeah, I love this yarn. It's a print, and I knew this wasn't a cotton. So it's I love this cotton in the sea
It's not. It's not.
I mean, I love this yarn. So this is what it looks like. I had it in a baby sweater that I pulled out. And instead, it's going to be baby hats.
So there.
So I did a little bit of work on this while I was doing something or other, watching TV or something, watching a movie. So not a whole lot of work. The Cindy Wood loom that Laura Concert gave me. And I like working the preemie hats in this because it's kind of mindless and relaxing. You just kind of go round and round and round. You just have to make sure you hit all your pegs and and it's fine, and you get little baby hats out of them. So, and babies need hats.
Yes, they do.
Little babies need hats. I like putting little hats on little baby heads. So, and this is a Kiki Boo Owls, Holiday Owls bag. Okay.
Okay, so my next project, I think this might be my last one. Hold on, it's stuck. It's stuck on my stool. There we go. Let me get the other one unstuck. There we go. Sorry, guys. In my Silver Shed USA PHM Faces bag, this is one of our earliest bags. So this is
Artwork by my husband.
Yes. Just trying to get my other needle size stuck in here somewhere because it requires 2 needle sizes.
What it says here, and here is pen, hook, and needles, and you've got the little quill pen and the yarn with the needles in it.
So very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is my Colorwork sweater.
I didn't realize they had hooks too. Little hooks.
That makes sense. It's from a Norwegian Colorwork book. I could pull up my notes and tell you the exact name of the pattern, but I'm too lazy right now. So this got some growth. I'm at the point where I'm just stalking it around and around and around. So it's very good for when I don't quite have focus for anything else.
Right. And what is this again?
This is my Colorwork sweater.
Right.
I'll get to a certain point, then I do the yoke. It's more of a, they call it a tunic.
Right.
I believe it's one of the ones that's called tunic. Because I had wanted to do one of the dress ones, but I think the one I wanted to do was fingering weight, and I didn't feel like that would be the best way to get myself to finish a sweater at this time.
Right.
So I was like, well, in the future. This is
My tea
the,
is all gone.
since I already have my show notes up, Colorwork tunic for me. This is the tunic with Valdress pattern from Hand Knits from Norway by Karen Marie Vinhe. And it's in the PHM Faces bag. Yeah, so. Oh. I don't know where my other, I must not have grabbed the other bag. I also worked on one that I don't see here. Your K-pop hats.
Oh, right. Mm-hmm.
It's in my PHN, my Silver Shed USA Turtles bag. I don't remember actually working on that this week.
Maybe you forgot to take it off or whatever.
So I worked on that too, even though I don't have it over here. Or maybe I didn't. I don't know. Who knows? It's marked down.
Okay.
I think it got buried under other bags.
It could be.
So yeah.
Okay.
I don't remember actually working on it. I don't think I did.
My next one is in my Bags by Awesome Granny Firefly bag that I got from Margaret, who is Fiber Hermit. Stay up there. Stay. Okay. So this is my bag and wrap from the Burrow Wrap pattern by KF Jones of Bakery Bears fame. And I haven't done a whole lot on this, but it's going. This is, what yarn am I using? Dragonfly Fibers. I'm using, I think it's all Dragonfly, except there might be some Miss Babs as well. And I'm using a US 7 for this. So this is a fun
And you're
pattern.
choosing to do it in DK instead of the fingering
Yes,
weight double.
I'm doing, yeah, I don't like doing double when I knit, because it's too easy for me to miss a stitch. So, yep. What's that?
Okay, I don't have any other projects because I thought I had the K-pop with me and I didn't.
Okay, hold on. Let me get the other one then.
And also, I don't actually think I worked on the K-pop. I don't remember working on it.
All right, let me get the other one. I'll pull it out later.
Sorry, guys.
Put this away.
I need to get up and grab my water.
Okay, my next one is in my Ploverbird sheep bag, my little sheepy bag, and I'm slowing down just because I have to figure out the decreases. This is the Baby Leonardo Ninja Turtle, okay, and this was a hat that I'd finished a while back. And so you can see I've got a little more of the green, the bottom here, the darker green for the bottom of the shell. And then I just have to make little legs and maybe a little tail. We'll see. It's just mostly a head. So that's what I've got. This is Leonardo.
Heads are important.
Heads are important.
I'm just grabbing everything I need to show later a little bit closer now that I've cleared out some projects.
Right. Because now, those of you who haven't been with us very long, because I'm brilliant, this was a hat, and I put in these safety eyes, which you can see the back here, will be poking the poor person who's wearing it.
Yeah, that probably wouldn't be the best idea.
So, yeah. That takes care of that. I probably should have just made crocheted eyes and sewed them on. Because this wasn't part of the pattern. This was a different hat pattern.
And you changed it.
And I changed it. So, because I do that with crochet. I hack things. Hack things. So, that takes care of that.
Oh, hi there. It popped.
Oops. Okay.
So the bunny drink.
I don't have any more. It went goodbye.
You wawa.
I don't want Wawa. I want my tea.
Hopefully I can put a little bit of frog down my throat. Okay.
Okay. Instead of spitting all over myself.
Excuse me.
Okay.
So, I guess you don't have any other projects, correct?
Yep.
You do have an FO, though.
I do. Okay. Now this FO is kind of another hack because I showed it to Talia after I looked at it. Because, sometimes my brain doesn't what's the word I'm looking for? It doesn't translate the pattern properly. Mm-hmm. So this is my little boy blue baby hat. It is finished. I could not make heads or tails out of the way.
Yeah.
It didn't make sense.
It wasn't very...
So
the instructions were for putting it together were not well written.
So the shape of it is probably not... It's not what it was meant to be. It looks more like those little square hats. You can fold it up like this.
But
so I ended up seaming it on the bottom and on the side. You were only supposed to do one seam and pull it shut. It didn't work that way.
No, it didn't.
It wouldn't close up. So
well, you can't close it up unless you're in the round, and she never specified that you were...
because they said rows,
They said rows, and that implies that you're knitting flat.
So it is a cute little hat, but it's the oddest shaped little hat because I had to wing it for sewing it. I mean, there's, I know there are hats like this. I made one that George did, 10 hours or less, that had this kind of a shape, but it was on purpose.
Right, versus being like, oh, I need to make something out of this.
Yeah, so it'll keep a baby warm, and it's a cute little hat. But I'm not happy with the ending of it where they said how to put it all together. You
probably will not knit that pattern again.
No, I probably won't. I would rather knit George's.
Right, which actually is intended to be that way.
Right. So this, it's a free pattern. It's a cute pattern. It's very stretchy. But if you decide to do it,
keep in mind it's not a well-written
It's
pattern.
not. Yeah, you have to be able to know what you're doing.
Nah, that's not even completely correct. Because even if you know what you're doing, her instructions do not make sense.
Right.
Because I don't have problems with patterns most of the time, and I couldn't make head or what she said did not.
It made me feel better that it wasn't just me, that I wasn't getting the pattern.
I think that either she forgot to put in a piece of instruction, or got erased, or it happens sometimes. It's a free pattern, but it's just not clear.
If you want to know what the pattern is, contact me because I have no desire to.
No, we don't want to lambast
it because it is a cute pattern.
It is cute. It's just that
somewhere along the line it wasn't edited.
Yeah.
So it's just because it is free.
I mean, some people don't have A, testers, and then B, some people don't necessarily. Some people write the pattern as they go, so they aren't knitting from their pattern.
Right.
If you don't knit from your own pattern, you might not catch your own mistakes.
Right. So it's a free pattern, and I'm not faulting her. I'm just saying that maybe it didn't get caught in whatever process, or she didn't do an edit or whatever. So if you think this would be a pattern that you're interested in, it does have a shape of a normal hat.
She's trying to fold so you don't see so we aren't completely making her or him.
It's really cute. Can you see that?
I just automatically say her for knitting.
So if you want that, I can give you the name of the pattern, but I don't want to I don't want her or him to have a negative review because it really is cute. It just isn't well put together in terms of the end of it. So that takes care of that.
Who knows? It might be their, freshman designing.
And it may be that by
Efforts.
now they've changed it.
Exactly. I mean, you don't know. You haven't looked any updates. Excuse me. Okay, so that then leads on to. Do you have any graphic novel?
No.
Okay, and then that leads on to beads and string. I think is what I call it. This is my bunny bag, Molly Klein design. So I have several multiple stages of being finished. This one, my 10mm beads came in. These are the ones that I use for my mental health rosary, except they're silver instead of super colorful. It's the same size. And they're also stainless steel. And I think I have a knot in my string. But this is my Padre Pio rosary, and I will worry about unknotting that later. There's a centerpiece. And I mean, it's a pretty simple rosary, but he was not a flashy person. He was pretty, other than, his experiences, he was a pretty simple guy. He was a friar. Oh, and here's the nails and crown of thorns crucifix for his. Then oh, this one I don't have yet. Okay, this one. I worked a little bit on this one. Actually, I think I started this one this week. Because actually, this is kind of what I wanted to do this week, was work on rosaries. This is my normal size, which is an 8mm bead. So it's gold beads. It'll have a gold crucifix, and it has a monstrance as a centerpiece.
Very pretty.
For those who are not Catholic, that is where the Eucharistic host is placed during Eucharistic adoration. So it's a very bright, monochromatic rosary. But I do understand that most people might not. There are people who might not want a fully gold rosary.
Right. Oh, it's pretty though.
It is pretty. I like it. I have some green beads that are rolling all over the place. This is from the St. Patrick's rosary. I think maybe his bag opened. Hopefully he doesn't have a hole in his bag.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Okay. It probably just came open. I didn't realize it. Oh, he does have a hole in his bag.
Oops.
Oops. Okay. It's good to know. Let me.
Oh, Sylvia, I did get your address and your message. I just haven't had a chance to respond. I will get that out to you as soon as I can. Thank you for touching base with me. All the prizes have now been claimed.
Oh, good.
So.
I'm like, do I have a free bag to put something in?
We'll just put it back in the thing for now.
Yeah.
Because looking for something that doesn't exist isn't going to make it.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so show that one. Show that one. There's nothing in here except a prep for someone had ordered. A family member had made an order for Mother Teresa rosary. I'm waiting for those centerpieces to come in.
Might come in today, maybe.
I think I have to check when she shipped them, or if she shipped them yet.
Right.
I showed Large St. Joseph last week. Haven't been able to do anything about that. Oh, these two are new though. I just had to finish taking out the ends for this one, trimming it.
It's so pretty.
This is the Little Flower Rosary, and that's a Therese Lisieux, who is also known as Little Flower, as a centerpiece. That's why you have a light pink. Mm-hmm. Although Mom and I were talking, a green would be nice too, to kind of just be like connecting the roses.
Mm-hmm. It has to be the right kind of green.
It does have to be the right kind of green. I think it would have like a light, grassy green.
Yeah, or a paler green.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Not that lime green that I have.
No.
And then
somebody had that one in a fuchsia, didn't they?
This one's new. You're talking about the fuchsia.
Was a
It was a different one with rose beads.
Right.
That was Our Lady of the Roses. Right. The same lady had a couple fuchsia ones that she ordered for people, and then one in this light pink. I have a couple rosaries that use the full rose beads, and then this one's a new one.
Oh, that's pretty.
This one uses 10mm beads. I'm trying to do a little bit more of these because some people do like a little bit of variety, and I like a heavier rosary.
I do too.
But I don't want to completely do these. I want to offer both. So this is Untire of Knots.
You didn't say you had Untire of Knots.
I've had Untire of Knots forever.
You didn't tell me about it.
So this is Untire of Knots. And because Untire of Knots has roses around the centerpiece, it also has roses for the Our Father beads. And then it has this nice crucifix here. The reason Mom's gasping is Untire of Knots is she has Our Lady under her title of Untire of Knots as a patron of her shop. Patroness. So, Our Lady Untire of Knots. And it's kind of like most things are with Catholic patrons. Sometimes there's a little humor behind it, like if you're the guy who was burned alive, who became the patron of barbecues.
Like I said, I'm done on this side.
Turn me over. He had a bit of a sense of humor, so I think he would have appreciated it.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that's what I've been working on, and now I'm in trouble for not telling you about Untire of Knots. I don't tell you about half the centerpieces I get in, because you'll want like all of them.
What's wrong with that? That is a reference.
It is. Okay, so that leads us on to... Actually, we were talking about doing a cooking section. Is this a good time for that, or... Where did you place it?
I didn't put it in here yet.
Okay.
Yeah, because we've done everything else.
Because then it goes on to royalties and things like that to wrap it up. Okay, so first of all, here's my little cooking book. It's a binder, and I just stuck 20 million superheroes on there, just way back when. So, Batman's cape keeps trying to fly off. I have in here, first of all, if you guys have the same issue I do with... I tried doing gluten-free bread in the bread machine last night. Horrible fail.
It tasted good, though.
Oh, but it's so... I think I know what I did wrong. I should have followed my instincts. I used to make bread by hand all the time. And my instinct said, when it said to add butter, I was like, I probably should melt this. But the instructions didn't say so. So I was like, okay, I'll trust I almost said pattern.
Yeah.
I'll trust the recipe. I should have trusted my gut instead, because the flour ended up being too dry and ended up being too moist in the center. And if I had melted it prior to putting it in, there would have been more liquid in there, and it would have become a better bread. But I went to this one website. It's called glutenfreeclub.com. And the particular article is The Secret to Baking Gluten-Free Bread. So I'll repeat that just for people who have the same issue with gluten-free bread that I do. And they cover if you want to do it in the oven, if you want to do it in the bread machine. They cover if you want to make a bread machine recipe into one you do in the oven. They're really thorough. Some of these tips I think are good even if you are doing normal bread and not gluten-free. And they explain, like, well, why do you use the cider vinegar? Well, because yeast grows better in acidic conditions. So it gives you reasons and not just do this thing. So it's a very good article, and I highlighted through it. I'm definitely going to try doing the bread again, and try and see if it works better now that I have some knowledge behind me. And I did end up making. We tried something called Favorite Frittata. It's from theprettybee.com, and the recipe's just called Favorite Frittata. It's dairy-free, gluten-free, naturally, and it just has eggs, potato, ham, baby spinach. It said onion. We just did onion powder. And we used leftover ham from our meal that we had for my birthday, leftover potatoes from that meal, and then some spinach, and just threw it all together. Ours was a bit potato heavy because we had more potatoes than ham, but it turned out very well. It ended up being, basically ends up in a big pie
It's like a quiche.
Yeah, it ends up in a huge pie thing, and we finished it in one. 3 of us in one.
It's like a quiche without a crust.
And I think people could get more than 3 people eating out of it. It's just that we need enough so that way, you know, a grown man could have enough energy from it, because it was, it's very low on calories.
Even with the ham. And we thought, you know, this is something, if I were to make it and I don't want to eat it, I'd put tomatoes in it, or we might put mushrooms in it, we might put dairy-free cheese shreds in it. It's very adaptable.
It is. It's one of those recipes that you can kind of be like, oh, I had this in my fridge. Let me see if this works.
Yeah, we don't have my cupboard or fridge or whatever you want to say, you know.
Trying to think what else I might have made that was new. Oh, did you talk about your the strawberry cupcakes?
Oh my gosh, those strawberry cupcakes. They were gluten-free, dairy-free. Tali found the recipe. I made them for her birthday. And they're gone now.
Yes, they are.
Davina, who doesn't usually like strawberry, had 2 at a time.
I don't think she has a problem with strawberry.
She doesn't really care for it. She just doesn't. It's not that she dislikes them.
She prefers chocolate, is what it is.
Yeah, but she.
I mean, if you were going to give her Neapolitan, she'd eat all the chocolate, and I'd eat all the strawberry.
So she really liked it. But anyway, you opened the container that I was putting it in, and it smelled like strawberry. It uses strawberry puree, like the stuff that you mix into drinks and stuff. And so it's very concentrated. And it was just, the frosting was a buttercream with that, a dairy-free buttercream frosting that had strawberry flavoring to it with that puree. And oh my gosh.
And just like the blueberry muffins that I also made this week because I was out of them for breakfast, they come from that strawberry cupcake recipe, comes from the gluten-free, dairy-free, everything gluten-free, dairy-free cookbook. So it's an excellent cookbook. The only times I haven't enjoyed a recipe that she's done has been if I chose something that I probably wouldn't care for anyway.
Well, to say how good those were, my husband doesn't usually care for strawberry.
No, he doesn't.
Stuff, and he really liked those.
I think he was kind of like, oh, she chose strawberry.
Yeah.
But no, they turned out really well.
Really moist, really good.
And we need to look and see if there's any chocolate cupcakes for Davina, because
for her birthday.
I'm willing to, you know, if she really wants chocolate cupcakes and we can't find anything.
Well, she has to have what she wants.
Exactly, it's her birthday. And that's not till May.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure there's something in that. I know there's a chocolate cake in there that looks amazing. That maybe if we think about it, we might be able to make it cupcakes.
Right.
So. Let's see. I think that's it for recipe stuff, because I actually didn't do as much cooking this week. I'm almost done with my Mexican casserole, so then I'll be able to start defrosting pretty soon. My potato casserole lasagna, so I can cook it sometime this week, because I'm sure I'm going to finish this scrumptious Mexican casserole.
Yeah.
And a lot of these recipes, other than the ones coming from the cookbook, a lot of these are coming, I get through the website Yumly. They also have an app, and it's basically like they gather sources for you. They're like, oh, okay, well, here's this recipe, and it's this site, so you go to that site and you get the recipe. I would say a library, but it's not quite like a library. It's a hub. It's a hub where there's a bunch of, imagine like a bunch of...
It's an information center.
Yeah, you go in the center and there's a bunch of doors and they point you to the door and you go through that door. I imagine now like this big building, you're walking in, it echoes, and they're like, oh, you want the favorite frittata? That's that door up there. And you're facing all these doors, and you then choose that door.
Reminds me of something in Patrick Carr's book. I forget which one it was. Patrick Carr, for you guys who aren't familiar, is one of my favorite authors, along with Timothy Zahn and a couple other people. And he's a Christian science fiction fantasy writer. And he had in his book, this guy, when he retreats into his mind, he has doors.
Oh, like a mind palace.
I guess.
They use it for memory.
Okay, yeah, it was, you put things behind different doors.
Yeah, it's a mind palace.
And so it was really
Memory
cool.
palace? Something like that. Yeah.
So
It's a thing.
It was really cool. So I had never heard of that before, but that's what it reminded me when you said that.
Yeah, that's totally a thing. What it reminds me of, I'm trying to find the name of it. It's in here. There was a musical, it never made it to Broadway. I got a hold of the album. It was like their what's it called? Their planning album. It's concept album. And the idea behind the musical was, here it is. It is, no, that's Matilda. Oh yeah, the in between, and yeah, it was like a sci-fi musical, and there were different worlds that different doors led to, and people might not belong in the world they lived in.
That's really weird because I'd never heard of that. And one of the stories, you read it, the story I wrote for The Percolator, talks about in between. I'd never heard of that.
Yeah. And this musical concept was out for a long time. I had this since college at least. That was where it was one of the first places I heard of Hadley Fraser. That and
I like Hadley
Pirate
Fraser.
Queen.
Yeah.
But he didn't play all the part. They had different people singing different songs in the concept album. And sadly, it never made it to Broadway. But they have a couple of really good songs in it. But that's what it makes. That's kind of what I picture Yumley being like. It's this in-between area where you get to pick what door, but instead of going to another world, you're going to Recipe. Yay, imagination.
I love imagination.
Okay.
When it's under control.
So, that's Recipe section, whatever we're calling that.
We had something. I have to remember what it was.
You had something I never did.
Yeah.
I was depending on you because you had something.
Yeah.
So that leads us on to, I think we do Stash and then we do,
Yeah. Okay, let
Shop.
me just put this away here.
Well, maybe I should go first because I have a lot of birthday stuff. Or wait, how much stuff do you have?
Some of the stuff we can do together.
Okay, Tay. Well, let me start one while you're capping your stuff. Well, actually, here's an easy one. This shirt. So, actually, I can't tell with my glasses on. This says, breathe just a bad day, not a bad life.
Yeah.
It's a nice, comfy, I keep calling it a hoodie, but it's a sweatshirt. And it's really nice and comfy. I always wear a shirt underneath it so I can keep wearing it many times if I want to for comfort. And then Davina made me this necklace. I had gotten this pendant in my Saint box for Saint Gemma, and then the chain was faulty. So Davina kindly made me a necklace
so you can wear it.
so I can wear it. And because I didn't have anything that was blue that was like not Batman, and my only blue one that was not Batman broke.
Because that was before she learned about making the heavier.
Right, it was before she was double stranding, and I think it was a smaller bead anyway. It wouldn't have necessarily dealt with double stranding. I like this a lot. So she's figured out the right length. Her style's gotten very classy. I really love it. I guess while I'm still in the theme for necklaces, she made me this orange one.
That's pretty.
And unfortunately, I can't find my peacock hair fork that matches this. I wore it on my birthday, and I took it off because my head was bothering me. I think...
Where'd you take it off?
I took it off in the kitchen, but it was still in there. And then I came back here, and I thought it was still on my thing when I came back here. And usually I put it away, but I can't remember where it went.
Or Daddy's mask.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know where it's at, and I'm
And my
sad
Nightwing
about
yarn.
it. Well, I'm sad about it because I only got to wear it one day, which is my birthday. So, eventually, hopefully, my peacock will show up.
Yeah.
That
one's really pretty.
And then this is another necklace Davina made me. I try to be very careful with it because it has this really beautiful
Teardrop.
and it feels delicate.
It's vintagey.
Yeah, it's vintagey, so
I like that a lot.
it's really pretty. And she wanted to make sure I had a non-flash red necklace. And I do have a couple, but this is really classy. I'm glad she made it for me. I have primarily like red and orange necklaces. What I like about this orange one is actually has more yellow in it too, so I wear a lot of yellow as well.
I think it's my least favorite of all of them, but it is pretty.
I really like all
I like
of
the
them.
tiger eye.
Yeah, I really like all
I've
of
always
them,
liked tiger eye.
But yeah, that's those are my my birthday necklaces. That leads you on to something for you, I guess.
Okay. Davina gave me this. I had one, but I gave it to Goodwill because I didn't know what I was going to do with it. I thought, I put yarn in it, but I just gave it away. So Davina doesn't need it anymore. It's the same thing. And what I'm going to do is put some of my yarn in here, kind of like a shoe thing that you put. It's an advent from the advent calendar 2 years ago, Saint of the Month. We didn't realize how big it would
That's
be.
not from the Saint of the Month. Oh, I guess it would have been.
It
Oh,
says
that's
right
weird.
here.
I don't know what my Saint of the Month one is. Mine's from Plum Deluxe.
So this is what it is, and I'm going to be putting my yarn in here as soon as my husband can help me get some hooks up on the door so I can hang it and give me some space on my
Yeah, because
shelves.
you really do struggle for space.
So that's this.
Okay, so next for me is some of the yarn. If you're speaking of yarn anyway, let me find the other one. The other one ran away. Where are you, pretty yarn? Hang on. It's going to make me actually get up because the yarn's being a brat. It's in here somewhere. It's probably hidden under something. Oh, there it is. It wasn't there 5 seconds ago. Okay.
I think it was.
Okay, so let's keep sliding. There we go. Not in name bag. This is this is Mom's. If it's not a horse, it might be a zebra. And this is a little partial skein.
Yeah, it's probably not that much of a partial
No,
skein, but
it's most of a full skein, but
It's
I still have to weigh it.
yeah, you have to weigh it.
And then I also have Courtly Love, and I got 4 skeins of this.
That's not showing up at all. That's not what it looks like.
Well, you're looking at the darker screen.
Oh, okay.
Ouch! I might have to. I'm sorry. I'm getting a cramp.
Oh, ouch.
Like in the hamstring area.
Ooh.
I don't usually get cramps there.
So this is
No, it's okay. It's a cramp. It's okay.
this is kind of a reddish coral kind of color, and it's
I thought about the two of them together, but I don't think they quite work.
no, maybe, but
I don't think they quite work.
it's too cartoony. Courtly Love, and this is 246 yards each of DK, so she's got roughly 850, 900 yards, something like that.
So these
Maybe
are
a little
the
more.
yarn.
250 times 4 is 20. Oh, you've got about 1,000 yards there.
So nice amount of yarn there. So I still have to figure out what I'm going to do with that. Where'd you get the nice bag?
It came with another yarn or something.
I'll give you the bag back when I'm done.
So
So then I think that leads us on to a couple.
Davina wanted to surprise you by having more and more gifts. I said, it might be better if she just put it all together. She's going to know what it is if you keep,
Yeah.
I said, okay. And then she wanted it to be like close to the end, and she forgot, and she just gave it to her first thing.
Let's do this one together.
Yeah. Okay, now this is not new. The book is not new for me, but the thing inside is.
The book is new for me.
Okay, this is something we're going to be doing for part of our Lenten
And it
stuff.
has a little visual overview of the life of Christ, the Jesus timeline chart to go with it.
It's like it's a timeline, so if you open it up. We also got I forgot to bring the Bible.
I had the
out,
Bible timeline
so
with
you can
me.
show it, yeah, because that was new too. But it's a timeline thing to help us with the
And the book is called Jesus, the Way, the Truth, and the Life.
And this is really apropos for us because that's the title the Paulines use for Jesus. Jesus, Master, Way, Truth, and Life.
Because that's the title Jesus
gave
gives for
himself.
himself.
So,
Here's the Great Adventure
yeah, I have this one as well.
timeline. The Bible timeline chart, a visual overview of salvation history. So it goes from early world, patriarchs. It covers the whole Bible and gives you a period, an idea of time, and when things are happening. So you know,
And what refers to what?
right, so you might be unsure of where exactly one book falls in the timeline. This gives you an idea. So this is if you want a more historical view.
And mine is in my Bible right now. So,
Then
yes, this is our Lenten book.
so this is a
that we
Lenten
mentioned,
companion.
Lenten companion. We use this priest, Father Mark Topes. We used him for Advent, and we really liked it. This is a little thicker book.
Yes,
But
but like
it's-
more days.
It's it's got very short little segments with places for journaling and things like that. So we're looking forward. This will start February 17th, I think it is, that Lent starts this year.
Something like that.
On
Yeah.
Ash Wednesday. So this he was really
Oh,
helpful.
I see where you're talking
Advent.
about the examine in the back.
Yeah, in the back.
I'll take a look at that a little bit. Oh, this is a good one.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take a little bit a look at that for examination of conscience. Okay, and then also for my birthday, I've got a little. I had a cover that I took another Bible out of, so I can
I have
put
to
this
get
one
my
in.
I have to get my cover, a new Bible. I'm gonna have to measure yours so I can see how big that cover is.
See, I have it upside down because it's actually supposed to be like this, so you can kind of use this as a
Right.
handle. But
And this was kind of a birthday / Christmas gift for me.
Bible in a year, And what it does is it gives you a New Testament, an Old Testament or New Testament, I think a Psalm.
Yeah, it has.
So you eventually cover the whole
Yeah.
Bible. So
And I
like,
think they also put the wisdom books in here
right.
somewhere. So
And it's not like dated. It's not like you have
Well,
January 1st.
they do have dates,
Oh, I
but
see
they
it
also
now.
have days. So if you don't like, we didn't start January 1st. We're probably going to start this. This is going to be longer than a
A year.
a
Right.
year
We're
for us.
looking more at where it says day 1, day 2, whatever. We're not looking at the actual date.
because it's about 3 pages or 4 pages of readings, and then there's a reflection at the end of it.
Right. So, I mean, for example, on day 1, you're reading Genesis 1,
Psalm
Genesis 2, Genesis 1 to 2, you're reading Psalm 1, and you're reading Matthew 1 to 2. So you have quite a bit of reading, and at the end you have a reflection. So by the very end, you will have read the entire Bible. And sometimes it can be hard to make it through, like, some of the books, like,
Leviticus.
is Leviticus the one with all the
I
numbers?
think that's the one with all the numbers.
I always have trouble getting through it because there's so many cubits and
Yeah.
I know it has meaning behind it.
It's hard to get through.
It's hard to get through, and I usually get stuck there if I try to read it straight through. This will be helpful because I won't be just reading Leviticus. I'll be reading Leviticus and something else.
So I can show you here for the Genesis 1, 2. You've got we got one page here that's Genesis, and Genesis continues on the second page. Let me see here. There's one page. And then Genesis
So we're gonna be
2.
doing it like on Sundays,
yeah, and wherever we can fit it.
where we can fit it. We're
Um,
not pressuring
And then
ourselves.
the Psalm is very short, and then Matthew.
But that
this
won't
particular
always be
Psalm-
the case,
No,
you
it won't
know.
always be the case. So this has about 4 pages
For this first
for
day.
this first day, and that seems to be about the average. And then you see this dark square here. That is where the reflection is. So it gives you something to kind of jump off if you want to journal, if you want to do whatever. And I intend to highlight this and write in it. So I just need to get a cover for it. That's why I have to measure your cover.
Well, and this is one I just happen to have. It's a little bit wide for this Bible. As you can see, it's puckering a little bit.
Yeah, I'll have to see how. deep
But it's
it
a
is.
thinner Bible than your average. I just happen to have this.
And see, mine that I happen to have all in use. So I need another one.
This was in use. I just robbed the other Bible of
Well,
it.
I don't want to rub my other Bible because it's the Bible I grew up with, kind of from high school on, and it's falling apart. So I
Right.
don't want to take it out of there.
I also wanted to show, because I'm not a very good letter writer, but I am trying to be a little bit better. And the person I'm writing with has been using really pretty writing paper. So I wanted to return the favor. So this is really pretty writing paper. Plus, they have these little envelopes. So I put it inside another envelope, obviously. And then it has these little stickers that you can put
Cute.
to close it. So I wouldn't send it with just this envelope. It'd be
it's
inside
small,
another
yeah,
envelope.
Yeah, that's cute.
So I think it's really cute, and I am going to finish the letter that I'm currently working on for her. When it might be like half a year before she gets it, but
Yeah. But she's understanding.
it's on the paper that I already have been starting for her. But in the future, I'll be using this kind of stuff.
Now, for me,
Because my other stationery is very Catholic, and not everyone wants Catholic stationery coming out.
this is Plum Deluxe. I got from Plum Deluxe, and it's an infuser. First, they sent me a little bit of tea. It's called Kitchen Table Blend Black Tea. A great tea for great tea time conversations. Black tea, green tea, lemongrass, rose petals, jasmine flowers, lemon, lime, orange, grapefruit essence. Love, gratitude, has caffeine. I'm probably going to give this to Talia and just taste it because I'm not sure how I feel about that.
I'll have to use one of my smaller mugs for this.
Yes. But this is the infuser. Okay, so it's one of these kind of...
And hers got a little crushed in the process.
Right.
But you just show it on the side. There we go.
Now,
It
is
has out.
anybody surprised at all? I don't think so. My owl. I just have to see about making sure that the basket stays intact.
Right, because it's a little different than the one I had for my dragonfly, which I also got from them. And it's kind of funny because dragonfly is actually the symbol for pots, whereas zebra is for EDS. or I've seen some places where dragonfly is the symbol for pots, and that's what my first one happened to be, a dragonfly, or my one that I have happens to be a dragonfly, and it has a stronger basket, and it also came from Plum Deluxe, so I'm not quite sure why that one's stronger.
I need to ask them what I would do if the basket breaks. I'm not saying it will break.
Yeah.
I just want to know what to do if it does.
And I think I might have my dragonfly one came with 2 baskets, and I need to find my other basket. If it's as strong as the other one, I can let you have my other
Yeah, and I'll just
basket.
put, this will go in reserve if
Yeah.
one breaks. So that takes care of that.
So then that leads us, I need a drink, onto shop news.
Okay, do you have stuff for shop?
You go first.
Okay, in Brittany, the bag Brittany gave me, isn't this a cute little bag? Now I have more yarn than I'm showing right here, but I have a full skein of DK weight. If it's not a horse, it might be a zebra. So this will be going up in the shop as soon as I can get pictures taken. Okay, there's pops of even, there's a little bit of pops of even of a little bit of white in this. It's just the way the dye takes on this yarn and on this particular method. So you've got dark, kind of a tealy, bluey color that goes all the way to very light to some pops of white in this color.
And this is the colorway she had dyed originally with her, with making me a zebra in mind. And honestly, I think it was good that you did pull the zebra out.
Well, this is a dysautonomia colorway, hence the name. And this one you'll probably see in the spring when we do dysautonomia. It'll come back in the shop, but this one's going to go in early.
Yeah.
So that's this one. And then I have some more DK weight yarns in here. Let me see. This one's a fingering sock, I think. Yeah, that one's a fingering sock. Okay. These two are also, and these are 2 of my neutrals, and I may be selling them together, potentially. This one is in the Bleak Midwinter, and this is a little darker than my normal one, so this is a variant. And then this one, I believe, is Winter Wonderland, but I'm going to have to see if I can find out for sure, because I have 2 that are similar. They're kind of a fade, and so I want to make sure that I didn't get the 2 of them mixed up.
Right.
I can do them. If I can't figure it out, they will be going as kind of a non-name, but I can redo it.
Yeah.
So this is, I think it was Stephanie who bought my whole fade set, and hers is correct. If she knows what it is, she can tell me.
Right.
But, so I was thinking about selling, I might sell them separately, but I was also thinking of maybe, whoops, it's come undone. That's not what I wanted it to do.
He's a bunny.
Let's see here, I don't have any tea. Let me just get this set up again. Because apparently I didn't do it correctly the first time around.
I never can do that very well. I try. It might always fall apart.
So, this,
What you guys can't see because of her notes is she's trying to twist her yarn again.
do you think that these go together? Because if they do, I might sell it as a set. They're all DK, and they're kind of the blue-gray-green family. So, let me know if you think that it goes together. It might be a set. It might go up separately. I haven't quite decided. These are DK weight. These 3 yarns. Let me show you the others. Let me just put the labels on here so I know what's what. Because I'm already confused. I don't need to be more confused. Okay. The next one, I have these colors, the more neutral ones, in fingering weights. They're just not reskeined yet. But this one is reskeined. And this one is, this is what in the Bleak Midwinter actually looks like. So you can see the darker. It's just the different way it took. So this is a variant, but this is the lighter one that I did originally in the Bleak Midwinter. And this is a fingering sock. I have a whole set that may go up as a set, or it may go up as a as singles. I haven't quite decided. I'm gonna lose this. There. Now this will show you the idea of the fade set. You can see this is all together, okay? But these are minis. They're fingering sock minis. in the fade set that that Stephanie had bought. And this will be going up. There are 5 minis. And this is my winter neutrals. These are 20 grams. So I guess about, I think they're 93 yards each because they're fingering sock. So you can see these. Can you see them? This one's in the bleak midwinter, I believe. This one is, I think, what was this?
You didn't mark it because you weren't planning on selling them separately, so.
Right, these are going together. I'm just trying to remember vaguely what they are. This is, not Old Man Winter. Winter Warlock. And this one is Silver Bells. And then these are the 2 greens I was telling you about. One of them is Winter Wonderland, and the other one is Winter Storm Watch, or Winter Storm Warnings. I forget what I called it. So these 2 here, which are they look very close, but they are different.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a fade set. It's a winter fade set that's going up as a set of fingering sock minis. And it's, I guess, because it's fingering sock and it's a 20 gram, it's about the size of a normal skein of yarn.
Mm-hmm.
For this. So you get like, 460 or something yards. 93 times 5. And 90 times 5 is 450, right? So something like that. So this will be going up as well. I think it would make a really nice, one skein project in terms of if you were using a scarf, a one skein scarf knitted, or
Right.
mitts or something like that, or even a small shawl.
Right.
Shawlette or something. So this will be going up as well. I do have this whole set, of which this one is a part, the fade in full skeins, and that will be going up as well as soon as I have the chance to reskein them and list them.
Right.
So that's basically what I have to show for the shop. I intend to do, I'm going to be clearing out, I just haven't had a chance, I haven't done any yarn dyeing in, 2 weeks since Christmas, because
You did a little bit since Christmas because you dyed up the stuff for Davina's stocking.
that was before Christmas, wasn't it?
That was after Christmas.
Okay, that's the only thing I've done though. So I want to clear out the jars I have, and I do have the person who asked me about the autumnal colorway. I have not forgotten. I just have to kind of clear out some of my dye stock, and they're going to be kind of like what people call pot
soakers, or
they're pot soakers, or end of the barrel type of things, and they will be kind of one-offs, or they might be pure or whatever. So those will be coming as well as soon as I get the chance to do them. So just keep an eye on the shop, and then I'm hoping to do more colors. I just don't know what I'm going to be doing yet.
before I go into my shop, I actually forgot to show one of my stash enhancements. This is when I needed a refill of my Edgar Allan Poe tea from Simpson Vale. I also picked up Fidior
Dostoevsky.
his tea. And it is good. It's a while exploring the cold winters in
Dostoevsky.
his novels, keep warm with this blend that combines teas from Russia's caravans with a dash of Earl Grey. It brews to a medium-bodied, bright copper cup that has this hint of citrus. And it has black teas from India, Sri Lanka, China, and Taiwan, as well as bergamot oil. So, I like things with multiple kinds of black teas, especially if they're a bit of an exotic black tea, because I really like, it's an African black tea. I really love that. There's an African purple tea that I really love. I want to say it was Kenyan, but I'm not sure. It might have just been African, like general African is the name. So, I've been wanting to try this one for a little while. And we've been talking about how Mom might like the one for Mary Shelley, because hers has chocolate in it.
Chocolate.
So
Everything's better with chocolate. Okay, we are getting extremely long.
okay, well, it's my turn to end with my shop news,
Yeah.
and then we
Do
can
our
start closing.
stuff. Yeah. No life stuff today.
No, I
think.
don't really think there's much. I've already mentioned the fatigue, so. In my Silver Shed USA ornament bag is a pattern that's going to testing
Yay.
soon. So,
It's adorable.
thank you. I finished, very much in keeping for this along.
It needs to go closer. They can't see the dog.
Okay.
Can you see it there? The little dog?
So it's a little, they can see, yeah.
It's a Scotty.
It's a little Scotty. Christmas Scotty is this with the snow coming down, and he's running on the snow, or they are running on the snow. They're chasing each other apparently.
Playing Ring Around the Rosie.
So this is, the first pattern tensor testing for this year.
Yay.
Because Little Palm Puppy doesn't count. He doesn't get tested because he's patron pattern. Because I can't risk. It doesn't make sense to have a patron pattern tested by people who are
not patrons.
Who are not patrons, and it kind of takes away. So
But the Patreons are actually doing the testing for you.
yeah, the ones who want to work on it. So they don't tend to be. That's also why they don't tend to be quite as complex, maybe, because otherwise there might be more mistakes, and it does kind of defeat the purpose of other people are doing it for free, other than patrons. So he doesn't get tested. This one does. This is not a Patreon pattern.
He slid down.
Well, it's not a lot of space for him. There's not enough for him to stand on. It's not flat enough, Mom. He's gonna fall.
He wants to sit.
Well, Mom, there's not a. He's gonna fall. He's only a baby. He's gonna fall.
Slide. He likes to slide.
Okay, well he can slide, but you don't want to hurt his little puppy self. You're gonna make him cry. So, yes, this will enter testing soon. So, I'm gonna try to keep it to one test at a time, simply because my attention and my focus has been so bad. Toward the end of last year, I was really struggling to keep up with my tests.
You're starting to flush.
Am I? Okay.
Yeah.
So, I don't feel fleshy, but I will take your word for it.
Well, you're not wearing red, so I know you're starting to flush. A little bit. Not a whole lot, but a little. Okay. Moving into our endy bits, as the Bakery Bears would say.
Is this our first reference to Bakery Bears all episode? Okay.
I mentioned her when I did the shawl.
Okay. Oh, speaking of which, if you're a patron, they have a couple of really good tutorials. It looks like I haven't looked on because it's not a tutorial I personally need, but how to pick up drop stitches and how to tink back. So if you're a newer knitter and feel uncomfortable with that,
And Kay has a very nice way of teaching.
yes, she does.
Okay, so writing. I have worked on the shared story, and if I can just sit down for any length of time and have a little bit of concentration, I think I can finish it.
And then it can go to me.
And then it can go to Talia. I just have been so all over the place in terms of, just everything.
Well, it doesn't help that we had like an extended tea party for 2 days when it was for my birthday.
And next week we're gonna have the same thing
For your birthday,
for my
yeah.
birthday. So it's just like, okay.
Now,
so
granted, when that happens, we also brainstorm a lot.
we do, but I don't write.
No, you don't write.
So, but anyway, I did write on that a fair amount. I'm still doing my daily prayer 2021. That's gonna
Right.
probably
Go to the wayside.
it's gonna be on the back burner. I'm gonna do it as I have time during the year. But I have other things I'm picking up for Lent.
I tend not to do very well with those kind of books because I find other things that are a little bit more interesting religiously to read.
Well, I like it because it's like the liturgy, the hours in miniature.
Easy, because I do liturgy hours twice a day
And-
anyway.
And I do the liturgy hours in the morning, but I like this. I love praying with the Psalms, so I like that. But so I have that. I'm going to be probably cut back on that. I finished Saints to Lean On. I'm reading.
I think you finished that last week.
Oh,
Okay.
and I read Mother Teresa. I'm still reading that. I finished Claudia, Wife of Pontius Pilate. I'm now reading Mary Magdalene, and I'm reading the Dragonback series by Timothy Zahn. So that takes, kind of my fun reading and my religious reading, which is also, I like my religious reading, but entertainment maybe? Reading.
Right. Well, because you need to have both. Now, it's really weird. In spite of working on a lot of designs this week, I also I have not had a whole ton of brain power, as weird as it sounds. So it's been very hard for me to get reading in. I'm still reading Flourish, the Bible study on the Romans.
Oh yeah, I'm doing. I forgot to mention that. Yeah.
Read a little bit of Lord Teach Us to Pray when I finally got enough brain power to do so. Read very little of Queens of the Conquest. I think I did that on Sunday. But that made me want to read Cadfael again, because Cadfael takes place during the period that I'm reading in the Queens of the Conquest. We're dealing with Empress Maud, also known as Empress Matilda, and Stephen, and their fight for the English throne during that period of time. And that's when the second book of and my most favorite book of the Cadfael books
Morbid Taste for Bones. No, Corpse Too Many.
That's Corpse Too Many. I always start with a morbid taste for bones because I also like a morbid taste for bones, and I lead up to
Corpse Too Many.
Corpse Too Many, and I tend to reread parts in Corpse Too Many because I do really like the writing in that. I really like his relationship with Hugh. So, and the girl in that's actually really good too. But yeah, that I started reading that a little bit because I've been actually like holding myself back from starting Cadfael again every time I read Queens of the Conquest. So I finally just gave in because apparently I just need to read Cadfael again. But other than that, I've been watching Disney cartoons and like commentaries on like fan commentaries on books and stuff on YouTube just because on like movies and stuff because I just don't have the brain power right now.
And we're very character driven, so we talk about things like that as opposed to, in regard to the characters they're talking about, the characters we write, people we know, whatever,
Right.
So
I also rewatched for the first time in a long time Emperor's New Groove, which is very good when you're not feeling well because it's funny.
Okay, so are we able to go?
Yes.
Okay, so we want to thank everybody for joining us here, but before we leave, we do want to say thank you to the people who commented on YouTube and on the PHN home group. If I miss anybody, as always, it's only because I didn't see you before we started podcasting. So we want to thank Emma, Wendy, who is MacGyver, Susan, Looney Hiker, Joan, Barbara, Pat, Meditative Crafter, Irina, okay, I hope I said that right. Irina H, Cara, Dawn, and Sylvie. Thank you very much for taking the time to comment, and for those of you who I may have missed, thank you as well. We are glad that you came to visit us in the Flynn and the Women Cave, so we hope to see you back here next week. This is the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 438, and that's a wrap.
Bye.